Welcome back to San Luis Obispo. We apologize for all the technical difficulties. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano, and Logan Safarenko with you here today. And Logan Safarenko, you're the PA announcer for the Conejo Oaks, and you do play-by-play at Cal Lutheran. Take over play-by-play duties for this third inning. You're in good hands.
Well, I think it's kind of perfect that we lead off with the Cal Lutheran guy. First pitch, strike. Carrillo, who has showed bunt many times this summer, has pulled it back, so disciplined in the box. Notorious for, whenever taking ball four, absolutely flipping that bat over towards his dugout. Because being a leadoff man, a walk is always good. Led off the game, and now leading off the inning. And he'll take ball one.
Yeah, Carrillo, he's so disciplined, it feels like. I mean, we've talked about it on our broadcast, and we always say that Carrillo, he just battles every at-bat. He's just such a big competitor, and I mean, he's extended counts. He's been able to walk a lot. He had 4 walks yesterday.
That ball upstairs. Austin Carrillo has been so hot out of the leadoff spot. And he's notorious for pulling the ball, but he also has the ability to shoot those gaps. Right center field is looking wide open right now, left center, of course, but primarily his hitting goes to the right side. Ball gets by him, 2-2.
Yeah, and Carrillo, I mean, I think for Ryan and I, we've seen him line out balls in all directions, and right now he has a 2-2 count, but his first time up, he hit that single, and he's been effective getting on the base, and in that cleanup spot, he's been really, really great for the Oaks since being there.
That ball spoiled. It gets over the netting, and some fans going to have souvenir ball. Second one of the night. Carrillo, we mentioned, had that single. It was not tagged out, but was out on a fielder's choice by Foreman, who waits on deck. Fifth pitch of the at-bat to Carrillo. Good take. Are we going to see one of those flips, Knight, of the bat? Or are we going to see a single here or a strikeout? I want to see a base runner. We're getting into desperation mode. Playoff time. Base runners are nice.
I mean, I think Carrillo, he's just going to foul off some pitches, maybe anything that he doesn't like. And right now he has a 3-2 count. He's probably going to battle.
Payoff pitch is in there for a called strike 3. So Carrillo leads off the inning with a strikeout, and that's going to send up TJ Foreman.
Yeah, and Austin Carrillo, he does not go down often and does not go down easy right there. Very uncharacteristic, just the 12th strikeout on the year for Carrillo, and he is approaching the century mark in terms of plate appearances on his season. That is a very good strikeout ratio.
And right there, he just didn't really, like, he knew it was a strike. He was mad with himself. You could see him walking off and slamming the bat, but not many looking strikeouts for Carrillo.
That ball spoiled by Foreman. And that pitch was to the last one, as you mentioned, to Carrillo. That's one where if you try and put it in play, you're probably going to get out. It's a good pitch there from Larson. Foreman reached on a fielder's choice and scored last time he was up. And the 0-1 pitch. Hit toward the right side. That's going to get down. It is cut off by the right fielder. Foreman, as we mentioned in the pregame, is headed for second. He is in there. A one-out double for TJ Foreman.
And a great job by Foreman getting underneath the tag right there. The throw beat him to the bag. The fan's not happy about it, like you were about to mention. But TJ Foreman, the speed gets him to second, and the slide gets him under the tag.
Yeah, he knew he was digging for second right away. I mean, it was a soft hit blooper towards right, and coming over was the right fielder, Bologna, and the throw was there. But Foreman, he's so quick. He was able to turn towards second very, very quickly and able to slide on the left part of the bag, which was the furthest part from right field from Bologna's throw, and because of that, Foreman gets on with the double.
Bobo alert. Brendan Bobo up. He's got a runner in scoring position, and he swings and misses. Throw to third is in time. Not in time. TJ Foreman gets around it again. And the demographic here at San Luis Obispo, not happy with it. You can kind of hear from the boos. Younger kids not liking it. A lot of kids in the ballpark. I like it.
Yeah, no, and I know you haven't been here, but when you see a foul ball anywhere in front of us, there's about 20 to 30 kids that just absolutely book it for the ball.
Oh, that's absolutely perfect. Bobo behind in the count 0-1. Clearly that was a hit-and-run play Another swing and a miss there, 0-2. However, we mentioned a coach likes to see a hitter swing. Obviously, I don't want to see a swing and miss, but let's see if he can put the ball in play here.
That's the second time where Foreman on base with Bobo at the plate. They've tried to execute the hit and run. Once in the first inning, Bobo fouled it off. This time it was sort of successful.
That ball misses outside, 1-2. Bobo, as Ryan mentioned earlier in the broadcast, has 7 home runs this summer. Had 2 last night in the loss to Santa Barbara. See if he can drive Foreman in right now with 1 out. The 1-2 pitch is spoiled back in the direction of us in the broadcast booth. Have we ever had a we've had, this is what, our 3rd or 4th game at San Luis Obispo?
This is our third.
Have we had some close plays here in the booth?
No, we haven't, and I'm kind of upset about it. I've had my glove ready at all times, ready to make a play. The entire season I've been ready to make a play, and there just has not been an opportunity for me.
And another swing and a miss from Bobo. Second strikeout from him. And Larson has 2 outs to work with as Brendan Durfee will climb on up to the plate.
Yeah, and we've seen Bobo strike out swinging so many times this season, and there it's just another strikeout. And that's got to hurt because you have a runner at third and 1 out. So Bobo, he's also been popping up balls a lot, and a lot of deep balls to the outfield is going to score TJ Foreman. Even maybe a shallow ball could potentially score Foreman with that speed. And with 1 out, you want to have a ball put in play, but because of the strikeout, kind of limits the Oaks' options.
Durfee takes ball 1. Durfee will hit for the 2nd time tonight with 2 outs. He did not get an RBI in the first inning. He was able to score TJ Foreman on an error. It was a drop ball by the second baseman. A swing and a miss there.
We saw Durfee the last time up have the number of Evan Larson, really battle against Evan Larson, able to have a 10-pitch at-bat in which he ended up getting on base. I'm wondering if we're poised for another long at-bat from Brendan Durfee.
As we mentioned, so disciplined. He's got a 1-1 count to work with. Durfee spoils one right back behind the plate, and Larson is ahead in the count, 1-2. Durfee's also not afraid to put the ball in play and get a hit with 2 strikes, but right here in San Luis Obispo, no ordinary atmosphere, as he'll have to deal with the fans getting a little bit louder right now with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Credit to them, they know when to get loud, though. Foreman at third. The 1-2 pitch from Larson. Durfee grounds one to the shortstop across the diamond, Mercado, and Foreman is stranded at third. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. You're watching the Conejo Oaks YouTube live stream. Back here in San Luis Obispo, Logan Sofranco, Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano. Great to have you with us as Torres deals a first pitch strike to Martinez. Martinez tonight is the designated hitter. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
And Torres, he's just been so good today. I mean, he had a great performance against the Blues last time, and so far, the first 2 times he's thrown, 1, 2, 3 innings, 1 in the first and 1 in the second. The first one on 10 pitches, the second one on 13 pitches, and he's just been so impressive.
And a backwards K. 3 pitches results in a strikeout in the rules of baseball, and Torres quickly has 1 out.
And Chris Torres has been so efficient all day long. It's only been 2 1/3 innings, but he's kept the pitch count low, and he has gotten batters out very efficiently. Back-to-back strikeouts. The last one to end the second on 4 pitches, and this one to start off the third on just 3.
So now here's Kretschmar, who had that error in the first inning. And he'll take ball 1, or that's a strike.
Yeah, that outside part of the plate, it's been called a strike throughout the game by this home plate umpire. I've had one that I called a ball too, and then he called it a strike. So definitely worth noting that that outside part of the plate has been called a strike throughout the game.
Another one spoiled behind the plate. Kretschmar batting .265 on the year. Still awaiting his first home run. Has 1 double and 18 hits in 68 at-bats. He's also struck out 15 times and walked 5 times. 0-2 pitch. And that one is fouled behind the plate. So there goes the immaculate inning, fellas.
I was thinking the same thing. I was really not trying to say anything, just trying to keep the hope alive. But
I'm not sure I was on the same wavelength. I wasn't. I didn't have that on the brain.
I like the way you think, Safarenko.
Another backwards K. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Torres.
3 consecutive. He has been electric, especially as of late. And what a way to bounce back after a poor start to the beginning of the second inning, where you have a 4-pitch walk and then 2 straight balls to Tate Samuelson. Since then, he's only thrown 1 ball, and he has struck out 3 batters and gotten 2 strikes on Samuelson.
There's another strike.
Man, he's feeling it right now.
He's got 3 punch-outs on the night. 0-1 pitch. There's that outside part of the plate. Did not get it, though. 1-1.
That one just looked a little low, but
Just a little bit.
I mean, still, Torres, I mean, he didn't throw a ball until right there. It was 2 backwards Ks.
That one is hit well into left center field. Carrillo makes the play. A 1-2-3 inning for Torres. The Oaks still on top, 2-0, and the Blues still in search of their first hit. We'll be right back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Back here in San Luis Obispo, Logan Safarenko, Knight Uretsky, and Ryan Milano with you. Great evening for some Conejo Oaks baseball. Grant Smith going to lead things off. Smith 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch he sees from Larson is in there for a strike.
And Smith is not 0 for 1 on the day. He had the biggest hit of the game so far. A double to left center field. It drove in Brendan Durfee.
I keep reading the scorecards wrong. We're still getting there. PA is different than play-by-play. 0-2 quickly on Grant Smith.
You know, you get really good at scorekeeping by doing play-by-play throughout the summer. I know Ryan and I, like, when we first started, we could barely do scorekeeping. Now I feel like I'm a pro scorekeeper.
I mean, I was
Ball
pretty good.
misses
I knew how to scorekeep before. Speak for yourself on the scorekeeping
Well,
front.
no, I knew how to scorekeep well. I just think I'm more efficient now, you know?
I used to bring notebook pads to Angel Stadium to do games. Not the same now. 1-2 pitch is fouled right back behind the plate. Smith, as we mentioned, had that RBI. What am I saying? Ryan Milano said that. But still, the Oaks are out. The Oaks are out hitting the Blues 3-0. And Smith looking to get first runner of this inning as he's hit by the pitch, and we got ice, but that looked like it hurt.
Yeah, and that's a scary play right there. He's going to be grimacing a little bit, and he was dealing with a little bit of a hand injury already, and now gets hit on the hand right there.
Yeah, he was dealing with a finger injury. That was on his throwing hand where the injury was, his right hand. He got hit on the right wrist, so
we need him healthy. I would like him healthy this weekend, as we mentioned. How big the stakes are these next 3 games. It's going to be absolutely huge to have our play. We mentioned we've lost so many players throughout the summer. You know, Robert Capozzi, Reagan Burford, Zach Gregory. So many people are adjusting to the new circumstances. Grant Smith has been such a key aspect of this Oaks team.
Yeah, and he's really just played wherever they needed him. Today he's playing second base as he trucks over to first. So he seems to be okay as of right now. But today at second base, we've seen him at shortstop, which is his natural position, which he plays at Incarnate Word. Also seen him at third base. And, I mean, really, he's just been throughout those 3 positions. He's consistently probably one of the only everyday players the Oaks have, and he's been so effective for him. And there, a hit by pitch, he gets on board, and you know, when you're leading off an inning, that's what you need.
Time for a quick game break. Arroyo Seco is taking on the OC Riptide. That's big in the standings for the Oaks. The Saints lead 5-1 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So we will be giving you updates on that game throughout the night. See if we can get the job done right now as Anson Arrows comes in. High fly ball into right center field. And there's the first out of the inning. Grant Smith will trot back over to first.
And that's a nice play by Ryan Cermak, able to get to the warning track and track the ball that sort of hung up in the air. The wind helped it trail more toward center field. It looked like it was going to be dead right center, but it drifted closer to the center field gap the longer it held right up. So Cermak able to just mosey over, make the play on a hard hit ball that he didn't make look too difficult.
So now here comes Greg Melhoff, who had that opposite field line out to the left fielder Grotto. Still working with 1 out and 1 on. Grant Smith, the hit batsman. Another one the opposite way, but foul.
Yeah, and although Melhoff did line out, it was a good pitch that he hit, liked it, barreled it up, but it just didn't fall as it just held up a little bit too high. And Mason Grotto, he was able to come in from left field and make that play. But you like to see it. You like to see Melhoff barreling up balls and getting some good contact.
0-1 pitch. Melhoff hits one the other way, twisting foul, 0-2. Melhoff out of the University of Pepperdine. You know where he goes. Look at the batting gloves. Obviously, it might be a little difficult on our stream, but if you're ever at an Oaks game in Thousand Oaks, you'll always see Melhoff with the bright orange gloves.
And who doesn't want to go to
colors.
Pepperdine?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful campus.
Right
Absolutely
on the ocean.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
The only thing I don't like about Pepperdine is how hilly it is. It is really, really hilly.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, so a strikeout As Melhoff goes down swinging.
And
On
that's
3
been the
pitches.
problem with Melhoff all season long. He has struck out at a high propensity and a high rate. He had a 2-strikeout day yesterday on the season. Greg Melhoff, he struck out 18 times, and he only showed up to the team at around the showcase break. So a little bit of a tendency to go down on strikes for Greg Melhoff. That is the one thing that he needs to have cleaned up when he goes back to Pepperdine.
4 strikeouts on the night for Larson as Raul Sandoval will come on up to the plate. Smith takes off. The throw into second base is high. Smith is there. So he's in scoring position as that ball was a ball indeed. Raul Sandoval flew out the last time he was up to the center fielder, Cermak. Sandoval, as we were talking a little bit pregame, has been hitting in the cleanup spot, moved down in the lineup. You know, just because you're in the bottom part of the lineup doesn't mean the lineup is not designed for you to not drive in runs. He easily right here could bring in Smith with the shot in any outfield grass. The 1-0 is spoiled behind the plate, 1-1.
Yeah, and Sandoval, I mean, he's consistently in the lineup because of his defense. He was batting in the cleanup, had some success, but not a lot. He did strike out a lot. Now having him here down in the order at number 8, I think that's a right spot for Sandoval. I think that he'll still have opportunities like this where he can drive in runs and really just have a lot more opportunities that suit his better batting needs.
The 1-1 pitch from Larson. Sandoval will swing and miss on that one, 1-2.
And look at the huge gap right now that's in right center field. The center fielder, Cermak, he's shaded to the pull side for Sandoval. And then the right fielder, Bologna, he is hugging that right field line. If Raul Sandoval can put one into the right center gap, it might not only be extra bases and an RBI, but he could be running for a while.
1-2 pitch. Sandoval pulls one foul. You do that in batting practice. You're obviously told by your coach you do a couple of bunts just to, make sure you still know how to bunt, even if you're a power hitter like Brendan Durfee or Brendan Bobo, because there are situations where you're going to need that. But they also want to make sure that if you're a right-handed hitter, you're hitting to right field. When you're looking to get scouted by colleges or trying to make varsity at high school, they're going to be looking at your opposite field power.
You want to be able to fill out the entire spray chart.
Mm-hmm. Another 1-2 pitch. And spoiled again, 5th pitch of the at-bat.
If you can't fill out that spray chart, then you're a one-act show, and pitchers know where to pitch you. If you can only pull pitches, then they're going to pitch you the opposite way. That's been a little bit of a problem for Raul Sandoval this season. Really filling out that spray chart and being able to drive balls to right center field as well as dead right field, as well as being able to have the pull power that we know Raul Sandoval has.
Another 1-2 pitch from Larson. Sandoval will take ball 2. Good take there.
And it is a good take right there, and now the count's even 2-2 with 2 outs. But Smith at second, looking to drive in a run is Sandoval. Larson on the mound, he's been impressive other than that first inning, and really that first inning should have ended with no runs coming in. It was really just the error from Kretzmar that kept the inning alive, and that resulted in the 33-pitch inning for Larson. But right here, it's a crucial inning.
Another foul ball. No movement in the Blues bullpen down the right field line.
Just saw a pitcher chuck
A
football,
down there.
yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I'm not sure they're warming up to put him in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could say movement in the bullpen, just not with a baseball.
No. They're going for the Donovan Waitman routine right there. Waitman able to vamp his velocity from 82 to 89 by throwing a football all season in high school. They're throwing a football in the bullpen, maybe trying to vamp up that velocity a little bit.
Another 2-strike pitch from Larson. Sandoval swings and misses. So Grant Smith was hit by a pitch. He is stranded. Let's see if the Blues have an answer. We'll be right back. Back here at San Luis Obispo, Logan Safarenko alongside Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano. Ryan Cermak will lead things off for the Blues. And he'll rip one into left field. Carrillo makes the catch. One pitch, one out.
And Ryan Cermak, he's put a few charges in balls. He had 2 hard hit balls for foul balls in his first at bat, and that one he absolutely roped to left field. Austin Carrillo able to track it down. He has been swinging the bat incredibly well lately. His last 3 games, all 2 hits in each of those 3. So right now, Chris Torres holding him at bay.
So now here comes A.J. Esperanza. Grounded out his first time up. And he will take a first pitch strike.
And Carrillo, he's had a little bit of action in left field, like you said. I think he ended last inning with a fly out by Fenn, and you know, he's just done a really good job in that left field spot, sprinting towards balls.
And there's the first knock of the night for the Blues, and it comes from A.J. Esperanza.
And he just waited on a pitch and sent it in the opposite way, right between the shortstop and third baseman. It's a nice hit for Esperanza, and he's been a great hitter against the Oaks throughout the season, and I think that's why you see him up in the order at number 2. We've seen him at number 4 and number 5 in the order against the Oaks, now at number 2 spot. An unusual spot for a catcher, but right there you can see why. Lines it and gets on for the Blues.
So now Mason Grotto will come up. Oaks have already turned 1 double play as that ball misses down 1-0.
And before that single, A.J. Esperanza was just 1 for his last 11, so that snaps a little bit of a cold streak for him.
That's got to feel good. Grotto grounded out his first time up as the throwback goes over to first. As we mentioned, that was Torres' first hit he has allowed. Obviously, having no hits is nice. However, a victory is a little bit nicer. Oaks are on top 2-0 early on. Plenty of baseball left. The 1-0 pitch from Torres. Grotto grounds one, and that's a fair ball down the left field line. Carrillo will field it and cut it off. And it is a 1-out double, and the Blues are in business.
And Torres, he was doing such a good job the first 3 innings, didn't allow a hit. And right now here in the 4th, back-to-back batters get the better of him. He's had some hard-hit balls throughout the game, but now in a little bit of a jam after the double from Grotto. And, you know, Grotto, he's just done it all season. He has a high average, was leading the CCL in batting average for a while. It's dropped a little bit, but still batting over 350 on the year. And right there, another example of that high batting average, just driving a ball down the third base line, advances the runners, and now 2 runners in scoring position for the Blues.
Well, he's had a high average all season, but as of late, he hasn't. He's only had 1 hit in his last 5 games. So that breaks a big, cold stretch for Mason Grotto. His batting average in that stretch dropped from 394 all the way down to where we see it now at 369.
So now T.J. Clarkson will come up. It'll be up to him to get some runs in for the Blues with 1 out here. Ground ball double plays off the table as that one is spoiled foul, 0-1.
And now you see Anson Arrows going to talk things over with Torres, try to calm him down a little bit. And I think that's the absolute right response. Torres just gives him a fist bump and sends him back to the plate. He's trying to make sure that he's okay, but, you know, he's just giving up back-to-back hits. Arrows saw the first pitch to Clarkson, didn't like it, and now wanted to go talk things over. And I think, as a catcher, I think that's the right response. If you see something up with the pitcher, trying to calm him down a little bit and get back to where Torres was in the first 3 innings.
Esperanza at third, Grotto at second. The 0-1 is spoiled foul again, 0-2. And Arrows making sure Torres is smart. As you mentioned, obviously in a big situation early on, you want to make sure you and your pitcher are on the same page. Realistically, that's what it is, right? You know, right? You want to make sure you're getting the signs right, because God forbid you throw a fastball and the curveball comes and it gets away from Anson and a run scores the easy way. So let's see if right now perfect scenario is strikeout or anything you can ground out in the infield without a run scoring, but realistically the best scenario here is a strikeout. Torres will work from the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Clarkson hits one into left field. Carrillo's got to race over. That one is going to fall. Esperanza will score. Grotto right behind. And Clarkson will stand up at second, and this ball game is tied in the bottom of the 4th.
And Clarkson just did a really good job right there of two-strike hitting. He got a pitch on the outside part of the plate, didn't try to do too much with it, allowed it to just go opposite way, wasn't trying to force anything. And that's a really good piece of hitting from Trey Clarkson.
So now that's going to bring up Tate Samuelson, and the inning will keep going. 1 out. Got to find a way to retire batters, and all of a sudden the Oaks bullpen arms are stretching out just a little bit. Nothing worth taking note of just yet, as the first pitch from Torres is grounded foul off the bat of Samuelson.
And this is the second time through the order the Blues are seeing Torres, and they saw him a lot their last time these two teams played, as Torres pitched that absolute beautiful game in that 1-0 victory for the Oaks. And right now the Blues, they're seeing him through for the second time, and it just seems like they figured out what he was throwing today, and they've really been on it for the last 3 batters.
0-1 pitch from Torres is grounded up the middle. Let's see if it gets cut off. It will not. And here comes Clarkson, and the Blues are on top 3-2 in the 4th. And right there, Blues are making contact right now, and let's see if we get a mound visit. Likely not.
No, and, it's just been 4 straight hitters, all gotten hits, 2 doubles, 2 singles, and, 3 runs in this inning. You thought the first 3 innings from Torres, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, thought it was going to be an impressive day, and right now, giving up 3 runs, and now he's on the hook for the losses. His team's down 3-2.
Plenty of baseball left as Bologna will come on up. The first pitch he sees will be cut on and missed into the glove of Ancinero. So, obviously, we mentioned Samuelson right there, grounded in the double play his first time up, and he delivered that go-ahead RBI. I mentioned earlier, wins and losses as a pitcher obviously kind of sting in the stats in summer ball, but you're not looking at it ultimately. But still plenty of baseball left as the pickoff move over to first is not in time. Bologna struck out his first time up. Torres has 3 strikeouts on the day, and he would love a double play, as nice as a strikeout would be. Oaks have already turned 1. The 0-1 pitch is in there. 0-2. Well, maybe you can go for that strikeout now that you're ahead 0-2. Just however, we have seen some 2-strike hitting, though, this inning.
I'm sure you wouldn't object to a strikeout.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right now, you're giving up 4 hits, and with 3 runs coming with it, you want to get outs any way you can. 0-2 pitch, quick slide step, and a back pick over to first. Nearly gets away from Bobo, but it is a ball outside, 1-2. Design play, obviously.
And unfortunately, this 4th inning has really been the theme of Chris Torres this season. He's been so electric throughout the first few innings of his starts, and then once he starts to get fatigued, he starts to fade, and he starts to allow runs. We saw it in every single game where he has given up a big run total. It's been later in his innings.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout there from Chris Torres.
And there's that strikeout you were talking about.
Take it. Why not? Struck him out on 4 pitches there. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Vince Martinez.
And you like that at bat from Torres to bounce back after giving up the lead. And he was really working with that curveball during that at bat, got it called for a strike. And that's really where he had the success against the Blues the first time in that 1-0 game. He really was attacking at the first pitch with the curveball, and right there he got it working a little bit, and he got ahead 1-2, and then finally got that strikeout.
Martinez struck out on 3 pitches looking last time he was up. Martinez, a senior from Stanford, having a fine season. The last 3 games for both these squads this weekend. And he will take strike 1.
And Martinez.
Well, that's something interesting. I don't mean to cut you off, Knight, but we just heard was Oregon playing right now in the ballpark? That's something. The "Here we go, team, here we go" chant.
I mean, you could do that with so many fans here. Unlike Orange County, who has an organist, and they play it, but nobody comes out to their games.
That's a shame. Such a great atmosphere out there at Great Park. 0-1 pitch. The runner takes off as that ball is popped up into right field, and making the catch is Foreman. However, the Blues have taken the lead as we head to the 5th inning. We're going to shift our play-by-play duties over when we return on the Oaks live stream. Back here at Sinshimer Park, Logan Safarenko, Knight Uretsky, and Ryan Milano here with you. The Oaks surrendered the lead, but we have quite a ways to go, and we're going to send it over to Ryan Milano doing our play-by-play duties for these next couple of innings. Ryan, take it away, kid.
Chris Torres entered the bottom of the fourth inning with a no-hitter. He leaves it on the hook with a loss. Jared Hart, the new pitcher on the hill for Evan Larson for the Blues. He's going to face off against 9-1-2 Cabral, Carrillo, and Foreman. Daniel Cabral, his last time up, flew out to left field. First pitch off the plate outside. The count 1-0. Mason Grotto was that left fielder. Ryan Cermak in center, and Vince Bologna is in right. The 1-0 swing and a foul ball through the legs of the catcher Esperanza. So the count 1-1.
After that strike, I definitely just reach my finger to do the scoreboard, but there's no scoreboard to do. So old habits.
You got it taken away from you.
Oof.
The 1-1 in there for a strike. Looking at it is Cabral. So the count quickly 1-2 to Daniel Cabral. He's facing off against Jared Hart, who on the season has a combined 1 total inning and 2 appearances against the Oaks as the 1-2. Check swing, got wood on it, stays alive. Cabral keeps going in the count. Those came on July 2nd and July 4th. Through 2/3 of an inning, Hart, he gave up 4 earned runs and 3 hits. And then in just 1/3 of an inning, he gave up a single hit and 1 earned run. So he has not been successful against the Oaks this season as he lets one go inside, tried to go for a back foot slider. Cabral watched it. The count 2-2. On the season, he has a 6.58 ERA, 24 strikeouts and 13 and 2/3 innings pitched, but has given up a few runs, and those have mostly come against Conejo as Cabral skies one to left field. Grotto coming over makes the play, and that is the first out of the inning. Soft line drive that Grotto fielded easily.
Give credit to both squads' left fielders. The sun is absolutely shining in left field. You can tell kind of where the shadows are in right. They're, as you see on the broadcast, they're definitely a little darker. It's like two different worlds right now. But both left fielders have played some fine defense. Obviously, Carrillo tried to get that RBI double fielded, but long range. It's been fun to see those guys out in left.
Yeah, and also give some credit to Cabral right there. He barreled up a ball towards left, and he did it his first time up, too, so back-to-back lineouts for Cabral.
Carrillo squares to bunt on his third plate appearance, pulls it back, and the count is 1-0 as the pitch is spiked in from Hart. He now wants a new ball. Discards of the ball he has into the dugout. Carrillo, so far today, singled to lead off the game in the first. And then the last time he came to the plate, he led off the third with a backwards K. He's batting .280 on the season with a .457 on-base percentage, one of the higher on-base percentages, not only on the team, but in the entire CCL. He watches the first strike of the at-bat on the outside part of the plate, the count 1-1.
That's absolutely insane that we just said that's a very good on-base percentage for the Oaks and the CCL, and it's in the 400s, when Brendan Durfee's is in the 700s. That's absolutely insane. When it comes to, I beg your pardon, that was for slugging, but still, we've got some good hitters in this lineup.
The 1-1 misses low and away, the count 2-1. If we're talking about the OPS for Austin Carrillo, it's sitting just above Brendan Durfee's at 764.
That Cal Lutheran energy.
Durfee at 755. Carrillo watches another pitch run away from Jared Hart, the count 3-1, so a hitter's count quickly to Austin Carrillo.
Knight, he's due. He's due to get a knock.
And, he had the single in the first, but really right now he has a hitter's count. He probably will watch another pitch here. He's a very selective hitter, or maybe he'll battle out, but with a 3-1 count, he's going to be selective.
The 3-1 bouncing ball to third base. Samuelson, the throw to first is in time, and Carrillo, he got a pitch he liked, but couldn't do much with it for the second out of the inning.
There just got jammed a little bit, went opposite way, and Samuelson able to field the ground out. But Carrillo, he did hustle down the line, made it a little bit close, but it was in time from Samuelson.
I'm not TJ. Let's do it.
TJ Foreman, he's reached base twice today. Came around to score in the first inning. Then in the third was stranded on third after a one-out double. First pitch, swing and a miss. A pitch right at the knees on the inside third, and the count is 0-1.
He has a very interesting left-handed pitching, right-handed batting delivery. He completely has fooled our right-handed hitters in the inside, got Cabral, and he's getting TJ to swing and miss like that one in the pitch before.
Very similar pitch to the first one. TJ Foreman offered both times and is quickly behind 0-2 to Jared Hart. Hart, a high-volume strikeout pitcher. He averages almost 2 strikeouts per inning. The 0-2, Foreman stays alive. The count stays at 0-2 for TJ Foreman as Jared Hart is trying to have his best performance of the season against the Oaks. He's been bad against the Oaks. He's been good against everyone else, especially in CCL play. The only other runs he gave up were in his last performance against the Foresters. This one, a bouncing ball to Fenn at shortstop. The hop and the throw to first base. Close play, but in time to get TJ Foreman. A quick 1-2-3 inning. Jared Hart gets out unscathed. Who's coming out on the hill for the Oaks? Looks like Chris Torres when we come back for the bottom of the 5th inning on the Oaks live stream. Ryan Milano, Knight Uretsky, Logan Safarenko here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Chris Torres still on the hill. His 3 earned runs came all in the 4th inning. He had 3 1/3 no-hit frames, but the Blues busted it open in the bottom of the 4th. Quickly here, Torres behind 2-0 to Austin Kretschmar to start off the 5th.
That was a good pitch. Obviously, the no-hitter is nice. However, 3 1/3, you look back at it as a starting pitcher, it's not deep enough to be proud of that. So right now, one thing only, clean inning.
Kretschmar thinks about a pitch that bounces in, the count 3-0. We've seen a 4-pitch walk already for Torres. That was to start off the 2nd inning. Torres, the theme with him this season is he either stays hot until he leaves the game or he ends up getting fatigued and giving up a lot of runs. The 3-0 in the zone for a strike, 3-1. It looks like he faded a little bit in the 4th inning, giving up 3 runs. Can he bounce back? He has not this season, after giving up a big run inning, bounced back with a no-run inning. So we'll see if he can do it here. He starts it off in a poor way, walking Austin Kretschmar on 5 pitches.
Yeah, on Torres there, I mean, there was a couple of pitches he threw with this curveball that just missed the zone, and that's just really hasn't been where he struggled. Where he can locate his off-speed pitches is really where he finds the most success. That is the way that he can work his fastball into his game, but when he's missing the off-speed pitches in the zone, he's not finding the zone, he's not throwing strikes, and hitters aren't getting weak contact like we've seen out of Torres throughout the season.
Roll it. Let's turn it right now.
Ryan Fenn up for the 2nd time. He squares to bunt, tries to stab at one. It was out of the zone, but he goes. It's called for a strike. The count 0-1. Fenn pinch hit for Ruben Mercado in the 3rd inning. Mercado never even saw an at-bat. Wonder if that is some type of ailment that's holding him out. Fenn flew out his first time up. Now squares to bunt, pops it up into the screen. The count 0-2.
And we saw it yesterday with Hunter Call bunting with 2 strikes. Do you think that the Blues are a little bit more disciplined? They're going to let him bunt with 2 strikes?
I don't think so this early. I know they have a 1-run lead. I'd be shocked. They got nobody out, trying to get a deep inning going. I know he's a 9-hitter, but I think he's going to swing.
Pickoff attempt back to first base, and safely is Kretschmar. So the count still 0-2, and I think that I agree with Logan. It's a different situation. Hunter Call yesterday was in extra innings. Here, it's just the bottom of the 5th. The 0-2 misses high and inside. The count 1-2 to Ryan Fenn. Fenn this year, he's batting .220 on the season. He has 11 hits and 50 at-bats, but comes into today with a 3-game hitting streak.
The Cuesta College kid. They always know how to play.
1-2, swing and a miss. Torres fooled him with a breaking ball and gets another strikeout, his 5th of the day.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Cuesta College right there, and A.J. Esperanza, the catcher, he's also a Cuesta College guy, so we also talked about Tate Samuelson. He's from Cal Poly, so a lot of guys in the area, just like we've seen from the Oaks, a lot of guys in Ventura County playing for the Oaks, a lot of guys up here playing their ball up in the San Luis Obispo area playing with the Blues.
Why not? Farm local.
Ryan Cermak coming up for the 3rd time today. Pickoff over to first, back in safely once again is Austin Kretschmar. Cermak has barreled up Chris Torres today, but has not been able to put one down in fair territory. Hit 2 hard foul balls in the first, but ended that at bat with a ground out to Grant Smith, and then in the 4th, a hard line drive that took Carrillo's runner going. The throw down from Arrows hops Grant Smith over his glove and into second base safely is Austin Kretschmar.
And Logan, I could see you getting excited right there. It looked like he was going to throw him out. There was an awkward
It was
hop.
the opposite. I was the hop. It got in the way because that could have been a fine pick there by Grant. We've seen many of the catchers. I know when Durfee catches, he likes to one-hop his throws, and we have fine middle infielders that can make those picks and tag him out. Unfortunately, like you mentioned, that's just a weird hop.
So the count is 0-1, a strike called on the throwdown. Last time up, Cermak line drive that took Carrillo to the warning track, but he ended up catching. Count 1-1. That pitch was inside. Torres tried to paint the inside part of the zone, but it was called the ball. Big gap for the Oaks defensively in right center field between TJ Foreman and Raul Sandoval. Probably the two fastest players on the Oaks, but once again, we're yet to have that track race as Cermak waves at a pitch, missing low and away. So the count's 1-2.
I'm still waiting for intern Dizzy Bet Race. We still haven't done that yet at Sparky Anderson. I'm waiting to get that going, whether that be tomorrow or Sunday.
Are we doing that?
Are we doing
I
that?
have no idea, but
I would love
I
to.
would love to throw that idea out there.
Cermak down 1-2 in the count. Torres already 5 strikeouts today. Cermak stays alive with a bouncing ball behind the plate.
You know, we talked earlier about who we thought was the fastest, Foreman, Carrillo, Sandoval. Who do you think's the fastest between us three? Do you think it's Ryan?
Well, I ran track.
I ran the 400 meter. I'm throwing myself out there.
Oh, that's true. I was a distance runner.
I will throw myself out there 100%. I'm a little out of shape, but we'll see how it goes. It's all about these guys.
Torres checks the runner. The 1-2 to Cermak misses high and away. The count even at 2-2.
For all our viewers on the stream, we appreciate you these next 10, 20, maybe even 25 minutes with the viewing. It's not necessarily the best visibility down the right field line, but we are in an awkward stage right now where the sun is going down and staying up. So stick with us the rest of the night. It'll be a great time.
The 2-2 golfed into left field. Carrillo going back, looking up. Is it fair? It's not.
Whew.
Ryan Cermak with a bit of a scare. Put one about 40 feet beyond the fence, but just foul.
Oh, he was just a little out front on that thing. Had he had waited the Cermak a hair longer, that thing is gone off of that warehouse and whatever that may be, storage in left field. Let's go to a different pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Cermak staying alive. The 2-2 pitch. This one's golfed again to left field. It's going to hang up too long. Carrillo's under it near the line, and a fly out that went about 320 feet to dead left.
In the sun, fellas. They're still working out there.
And the sun's not terrible. I mean, it is here today, just in left field. There is a little bit more shade. We've seen the sun be a lot worse at other ballparks, especially places like Arroyo Seco. I know there was a game at Arroyo Seco that Austin Carrillo had 2 balls that he couldn't track in the sun. And right here, he was able to deal with it, get the out. But Cermak, man, he was barreling up some balls. And right after that, you can see why Coach Radinsky's coming out to talk to Torres, maybe try to calm him down a little bit with the runner in scoring position.
Cole Baker in the Conejo Oaks bullpen is warming up a little bit. We can't see who's next to him, but
it's Brandon Madrigal next to him.
Yeah, Madrigal coming in, potentially. I wouldn't think that he would pull him right now. It's just a mound visit to see. I would assume that if this is a clean inning, the rest of the way at least, this will be Torres' last frame. Obviously, that tough 4th inning, but I like what I saw from Torres. And likely this is probably going to be Torres' last appearance in the regular season, but good stuff out there. And we want to remind all our fans that tomorrow and Sunday, final homestand of the 2021 season, tomorrow at 4 p.m. against the OC Riptide at Sparky Anderson. Come on down, $5 admission, and it could be a very interesting game, pending on how this game shapes out as the Riptide are trailing 5-2. And then Sunday at 1 p.m. against Arroyo Seco. That game will be at 1 p.m., so we hope to see you then for the final homestand of the 2021 season. Sparky Anderson Field at Cal Lutheran Campus in Thousand Oaks, California.
Back in action as Radinsky leaves the pitcher's mound. A.J. Esperanza trying to get a 2-out knock. He scored a run in the 4th inning after getting aboard and starting a long hit streak with a single. First pitch, nice pitch, off speed in the zone at the knees for a strike. The count 0-1. Esperanza, the beginner of a 4-hit streak that ended up scoring the 3 runs in the 4th inning against Chris Torres. His first time up, he grounded out to Greg Melhoff. The 0-1 off-speed pitch below the knees broke right below Esperanza's bat. He swung, and it's 0-2.
And you'll love to see this response right after the pitching meeting. You get a couple of off-speed pitches working from Torres. He gets ahead 0-2. especially to a hitter like Esperanza, who's been so good against the Oaks all season. And so right there, great response after the meeting with Radinsky.
Two strikes. The pitch, breaking ball off the plate. The count, 1-2.
One more strike, get out of town. Send it down to your offense. Let's see if we can go to work. Already the 6th inning, guys, and it's less than an hour and a half, maybe just a little bit more. I'm going based off a pure estimate right here, but been a very quick ball game.
The 1-2, Torres swinging a fly ball into left field. Carrillo underneath it. Gets out of the inning after letting on a leadoff walk. This game is still 3-2 as we head to the top of the 6th. You're listening to the Oaks live stream on YouTube. Top of the 6th inning, Brendan Bobo, Brendan Durfee, and Grant Smith due up for the Oaks. Jared Hart still the man on the hill. Hart a left-hander facing off against a heavily left-handed section of the Oaks lineup.
Bobo's hit well against left-handers, correct?
He has. He's been good against both sides of the plate. First pitch to Brendan Bobo.
Ooh.
Breaking ball below the knees. Count 1-0.
Is that a slider or curveball? I'm getting a different point of view, so I'm not seeing it well. It looked like it came from the sidearm slot, so I'm gonna throw a slider in there. That looked like a slider.
It looked like a slider to me as well. The 1-0. Bobo watches it at the knees. This one called a strike. The count 1-1. Brendan Bobo so far today 0 for 2. 2 5-pitch strikeouts.
When was the last time we saw Brendan Bobo not swing the bat on the first 2 pitches?
Wow, yeah.
The 1-2. Bobo watches it. Another slider. This one gets away from the catcher Esperanza. Goes to the backstop. The count 2-1.
This is interesting. I love seeing home run hitters be selective on the first 3 pitches.
Think maybe an adjustment mid-game after the back-to-back strikeouts?
The 2-1, swing and a miss, a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Sped Bobo up, and he couldn't catch it.
It's
count 2-2.
It's different as a hitter because obviously as a pitcher, they can figure out the second time through the lineup. This is a new pitcher. Bobo hasn't faced him yet, so we'll see how he responds to 2 strikes.
The 2-2 count, Bobo fights it off, stays alive.
And although it's a new pitcher, I mean, maybe it's a new plate approach for him, readjusting where he went in his first 2 plate appearances and where he can improve. You know, that's the thing about baseball is you can have a terrible start and a great finish.
Bobo swings and misses at a breaking ball, another strikeout. This time it was 6 pitches, so he stayed alive for 1 more pitch, but went down with the same result. 3 consecutive Ks to start off his day.
There's that slider. I'm telling you, that is such that's such a deadly pitch to throw lefty on lefty because typically that pitch on a right-handed hitter ends up in the warehouse. So the fact that he missed the first pitch, it was a ball, but it was a good pitch from Hart. Finished it off right away. That's a good pitching, but unfortunately, not on our side.
Brendan Durfee watches the first pitch miss. Another one of those sliders. It ran outside. Durfee so far today, he reached base on an error.
I know. I noticed that too.
That's disrespectful.
Up here.
They have the K meter up in the broadcast booth over the San Luis Obispo broadcasters.
Durfee watches a strike in the zone. The count 1-1. I have no problem with that. I think it's absolutely fine.
It's a ballpark thing. I like it. I'm digging it, actually.
I think you should incorporate that at Cal-Lu, Logan.
From our vantage point, might be hard to see.
The 1-1 misses away. The count 2-1. Durfee, he was able to get a run come across in the first inning by himself and also drove in TJ Foreman, not credited for the RBI. Watches a pitch at the knees, the count 2-2.
I don't like that one. That one looked below the knees to me. And Durfee knows that, but you mentioned he's disciplined.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Brendan Durfee, only 9 strikeouts on the season. Make it 10, a swing and a miss. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Jared Hart. First 2 of the day to start out the 6th inning.
All right, let's see how he does against a right-handed fella.
Grant Smith reached base both times he's come to the plate today. An RBI double in the first, and then hit by the first pitch, or hit as the leadoff batter in the 4th on the 4th pitch he saw, was stranded in scoring position at second base.
And really, Grant Smith, he was the last person to get on base.
Squares the bunt, pulls it back, the count 1-0.
Back to that strikeout meter that we saw, that's to our right, the K meter. You know, you ever go to a ballpark, you see that. It's been real interesting seeing how every ballpark does something different. You know, went to Great Park the other day. The Riptide weren't there, but it's such a good environment for any team to make stuff unique.
Smith chases a high fastball. 1-1 the count.
I think at Orange County, their unique thing is the organist for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The organist is very unique.
That's awesome that they have one.
The 1-1 bounces. The count 2-1.
We're enemies, though, the next 72 hours, fellas.
Well, and what the organist does at Orange County is they play popular songs on the organ.
Yeah.
I think it was the Chicago Cubs organist. That game was being televised on Fox Sports 1, and he whipped out the Fox Sports baseball theme on Fox, and he played it, and it was awesome.
2-1. Smith squares the bunt, pulls it back. The count 3-1.
Thank you, Mr. Home Plate Umpire.
It was a slider that was running inside to Grant Smith. It was close on the plate. Smith got the favorable call. A hitter's count now at 3-1. Smith, he gets aboard for the third time today. Grant Smith yet to get out as he has reached base now with a walk to go along with his hit by pitch and double.
And Grant Smith with the walk right there after back-to-back strikeouts. Hart now going to have a mound meeting, trying to talk to him a little bit. He started the inning really, really well. As both left-handed hitters he got the strikeouts against, Bobo and Durfee. Prior to that, he had a 1-2-3 inning in the fifth, and he was just really effective. And now it looks like a pitching change.
Yeah, his day is going to be done. We'll bring you the pitching change when we come back on the Oaks live stream. Pitching change here in the top of the sixth inning. Anson Arrows, the switch hitter, now going to see himself on the left side of the plate. Facing off against Kevin Lyons. He comes in relief for Jared Hart, who had a scoreless 1 2/3. The runner and Smith is going. The throw down not in time.
That a kid.
Grant Smith into scoring position. It's the second time he's stealing that second base bag today.
They've been nice on the base paths today with stolen bases. Third stolen base on the day for the Oaks.
Smith has 2. Foreman has 1. Anson Arrows trying to get a hit. Now with a runner in scoring position. He's 0 for 2 so far today. A ground out to second base in the first, and then a fly out to dead center. Swing and a miss on an elevated fastball. The count 1-1 to Anson Arrows.
What did I say earlier? I said, viewers, stick with us. The broadcast is going to look pretty because the sun is going to figure out what it wants to do with its life. The broadcast is pretty. Enjoy the rest of the game, folks.
I think the sun's pretty happy with its life. It's had a very routine cycle. 24 hours every day. Arrows watches the pitch, get away from the catcher. Smith headed to third. He's rounding it and not going to make the decision to go home. So now a runner just 90 feet away. Anson Arrows trying to come up with a big RBI hit as Grant Smith, he's now reached 2 extra bases on the base paths.
Boy, I think that looked like it hit him, but it obviously got the catcher's, it looked like a shin guard. And obviously you can see David Solis talk a little bit. I'm not sure what they're talking about, but yeah, that thing got right off Esperanza's shin guard.
Yeah, and we've seen Esperanza this season be a threat at the plate. I'm not sure how much prowess he has as a defensive catcher, but he's so far today allowed 3 stolen bases and then that passed ball.
Well, you got a guy 90 feet away. Time to do your damage, Hanson. I think they're trying to straighten out what the count is. And I believe it is correct. It is indeed 2-1.
Yep, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Anson Arrows trying to generate 2-out offense for the Oaks after Grant Smith, a 2-out walk. The 2-1 misses elevated. So the count now 3-1. The right-handed pitcher they brought in Kevin Lyons to face off against Anson Arrows. Arrows then hopped to the left side of the dish. The 3-1, high fastball, Arrows cuts through, and the count is full.
Well, at least he's still alive. I was going to say, you got to be smart with a 3-1. We saw Carrillo ground out to the left side. So let's see if Arrows can do something pretty big here.
Arrows a .292 batting average, a .467 on base percentage. The payoff pitch, swinging a bouncing ball down the first base line and foul.
Man, angles are a fun thing. That thing looked like it was going to be a chopper right in front of the first base line and stay fair.
It's a weird angle for us, and I think that Kevin Lyons also thought it. He got off the hill fast. Arrows knew off the bat. He didn't get out of the box, but the pitcher playing illusions on the broadcaster as he was sprinting towards the line, thought he might have a play on it, but the topspin on it made it bounce significantly foul. The 3-2 again. Arrows watches it. Pass ball. Grant Smith coming to the plate. He's going to score. Arrows going to reach first base on the walk, and this game tied at 3.
I don't even think Arrows realized that was ball 4.
He was so focused on giving Grant the fist bump. Well, there you go, fellas.
And that's the 2-out offense for the Oaks right there. They're able to get the 2-out walk, then the aggressive base running on the base paths from Smith, stealing second, and then getting both third base and home plate on the passed ball.
What a good at-bat, though, from the Oregon signee. I mean, absolutely, a lot of pitches, behind in the count, ahead in the count, behind. Now he's at first, tie game. Here we go.
Greg Melhoff watches the first pitch, low and away. Count 1-0. Melhoff thus far struck out on 3 consecutive pitches in his last at-bat. And his first time up, flew out to left field. It was a hard line drive that Mason Grotto was able to reach before it got to the line. Arrows dives back in to first base on the pickoff attempt. It's not in time to get him. So a walk from Jared Hart. That run is credited to him. And then Kevin Lyons comes in, tries to stop the bleeding. He can't do it. And now quickly, 2 straight balls to Melhoff as he misses inside.
And really going back to Grant Smith, stealing second base was really a crucial play because there was only 2 pass balls during the at-bat to Anson Arrows. And because of that stolen base from Grant Smith, that allowed him to score and tie this game up. So base running has been really crucial in this game.
The 2-0, Melhoff watches it. It's low and away.
Oh, he caught him
Anson
sleeping.
Arrows steals, and the catcher, you're absolutely right, was caught sleeping. The pitch was low and inside. Arrows got a late jump, but Esperanza didn't even attempt to throw.
4 guys. That's 4 free bags. I guess not free, stolen bags. And
the free bags are on the wild pitches.
yeah, absolutely.
So 6 bases that have been stolen, either stolen bases or wild pitches. And now 3 consecutive walks puts runners on first and second as Greg Melhoff is going to get 4 straight balls to walk himself to first.
Yeah, now you're going to see a mound discussion, but that just really wasn't a great at-bat for Lions. A 4-pitch at-bat to Melhoff, and, you know, he finds himself at first. But Anson Arrows, credit him for catching them sleeping, going over to second, and because of that, put a runner in scoring position, trying to take the lead. And this game is so crucial in the standings.
Kevin Lyons, he hasn't struggled with his command this season. In 26 and a third innings, he has 10 walks on the year and 28 strikeouts. So he's a high-power pitcher that doesn't walk many, but he has thrown 4 straight balls to Melhoff after walking Anson Arrows.
Hey, the Oaks are threatening right now. Time to give you a quick game break. Saints remain on top on the OC Riptide, 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be giving you. We don't normally give that many game breaks, but this is different circumstances. It's do or die time.
Absolutely. I think that the game breaks are necessary as Raul Sandoval, a hit right here necessary if the Oaks are going to try to take the lead. 2 runners on. First pitch to Sandoval, elevated above the letters. The count 1-0. Sandoval so far today, flew out to center field and then struck out in his last at-bat.
He's due for some RBIs. You got a guy in scoring position, potentially one all the way to the wall. You could get Melhoff in.
1 ball, no strikes. Bouncing ball gets past the catcher. Arrows taking third, takes a hard round. It looked like he was going to try to take home, but he slipped on the third base bag, so he's just going to have to stay content with putting himself and Greg Melhoff in scoring position after the wild pitch.
Read ball dirt. That's what you hear from your first and third base coach growing up in middle school, high school, college. You hear read ball dirt. Obviously, pass ball kind of obvious you're going to take the bag, but still, that allowed Anson to get into second and then now get into third. So good eyes by the Oaks base runners.
3 pass balls in the inning for Lions. A 2-0 count. The 3-0 breaking ball in the dirt. Raul Sandoval gave a strike away. That would have been another ball. It would have been the 8th consecutive ball thrown by Lions. The last one to Anson Arrows, the 4 consecutive to Melhoff, and then a 2-0 count to Raul Sandoval. But he bites on a pitch, a breaking ball in the dirt to make it 2-1. The 2-1 pitch, Sandoval watches it. This one he doesn't chase, a similar pitch. He learned his lesson the first time. It's 3-1.
Yeah, and really, I don't know why Sandoval was swinging. Lions, he's been struggling finding the zone, and I guess maybe he saw a pitch that just seemed too good, but I wouldn't be swinging right here. Even with a 3-1 count, he's been missing the zone a lot, and why swing?
If he gets that pitch again, get ready, though.
3-1, Sandoval watches it. Called for a strike. He thought he was aboard. The pitch inside, a late strike call from the home plate umpire, and Raul Sandoval showed him up a little bit, flipped his bat, and it was the late strike call by the home plate umpire. That pitch was close, and I think that Sandoval just heard the silence and thought he earned himself a bag.
Well, you hate to see it. That was definitely a strike, and now you cannot take this pitch because, quite frankly, the umpire is not going to like it. He'll definitely side with the pitcher after something like that.
Payoff pitch, 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Sandoval swings, gulps one to left field. Grotto going back towards the track and makes the play, running, crashing into the wall. Raul Sandoval drove it just as far as you can without getting it out of the park. And the Oaks strand 2 in scoring position, but not after. 1 run comes in to score to tie the game. 3 consecutive walks, and the Oaks are out of the inning at 3 apiece. We head to the bottom of the 6th on the Oaks live stream. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Oaks tied it up in the top half at 3 apiece. Chris Torres' day is done. He had an immaculate performance through 4 of his 5 innings, but the 4th, he gave up 3 earned runs. Those are his 3 runs on the day. Baker facing off against Mason Grotto. First pitch at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Torres, he also finished his performance with 6 strikeouts.
I think Knight mentioned earlier. Oh, go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
Actually, it was 5 strikeouts, excuse me, but a good job for him to punch out batters after the last time he came. He did not strike out a single one. Baker, second pitch strike into Grotto, quickly ahead, 0-2.
Knight mentioned it earlier about Chris being in the line for the loss. I had a feeling that that just wasn't going to be the case. So now it's going to be an offensive duel. We're in for a good finish.
This ball rolled over to shortstop. Cabral, the backhand, throws to first. Bobo, the stretch. They called him off the bag.
Yep.
So an infield single for Mason Grotto. He reached first base, and Coach Solis is going to argue it. It was definitely a close play at first. The first base umpire was moving to get a look. He didn't have the right angle on it at the beginning. While the play was coming to first base, it was a close angle, and now the umpires are going to convene to make sure that the right call was made on the field.
So Lee's had the best angle there. I would not be shocked if this was not overturned because he looked off the bag. It's just a matter of if he had that big toe, if you will, on the bag.
And it's really hard. I don't think we've seen many plays like this be overturned. And, yeah, you can see it's really hard, especially in the CCL. No replay. It's all based on the eye advantage, and they're probably going to side with the call on the field because of the first base umpire being right there at the play. They think he has the best vantage point. I know Solis, he probably had a better vantage point being on the closer side to the bag, but, you know, sometimes it goes either way. It's a 50-50 play, but it goes in the favor of the Blues right there.
The only time I ever saw a play get overturned this summer at CCL at home was a balk that was overturned on Cody Adcock just recently against Arroyo Seco. But
first pitch into the 4-hole hitter, Trey Clarkson, outside for a ball.
Yeah, that was an interesting play, and, I mean, that was a very chippy game against the Saints, and really that play resulted in the Saints manager being ejected. It was a crazy game.
The 1-0, swing and a miss, elevated fastball, Trey Clarkson. Underneath it, and the count is 1-1 for Cole Baker, who's been one of the better relievers out of the pen for the Oaks this season. A 1.9 ERA, 14 innings, 18 strikeouts. He has been fantastic. The only time he's given up earned runs this season was against the Blues. The last time the Oaks came to San Luis Obispo, the 1-1 swing and a miss, the count 1-2. But the last time the Oaks lost in San Luis Obispo, he pitched 2 1/3 innings, gave up 3 earned runs, and was on the hook for a 5-4 loss.
Yeah, that was the first game we played here, and he came in after Adcock pitched a great performance, and the Oaks, they were leading by 4, but they couldn't close it out.
The 1-2 pitch, low and away, 2-2. The count is even. And so when an extra runner gets on base that should be an out, it's important that Baker, right out of the pen, does not get rattled and stays focused, locked in, and does not worry about the runner on first base. The 2-2, swing and a miss. The first strikeout of the day for Cole Baker. Sits down Trey Clarkson, and the first out of the inning is recorded.
with the hard-throwing heat that he brings to the table, what is absolutely crucial is location. I was thinking if that pitch was over the heart of the plate, that's a base knock, but he went to the outside, a little bit of a two-seamer, got him to chase. That's a good pitch from Baker.
Baker has had multiple strikeouts in every single outing he has appeared in this season, trying to keep that streak going. He's off to a good start. Now facing off against Tate Samuelson. 1 for 2 on the day is Samuelson, an RBI knock in the 4th inning. But he did ground into a double play in the 2nd. First pitch gets away from Arrows, and Grotto is going to take second base, so the double play no longer in order.
First pass ball we've seen from Arrows today. I don't know if they're going to score that a pass ball or a wild pitch.
Yeah, I don't know either, but Grotto didn't really get a good read off of that. He was really stumbling in his shoes for a little bit, and really that ball went right back to the backstop, and Grotto, he still stayed in between first and second for a couple of seconds before taking off, and you got to think he just really wasn't ready for that, and why would he? Arrows has been so good defensively all game.
The backstop is a mile away. They're
1-0
used to that,
the
though.
count. 2-0 as this pitch misses high. And you're right, the backstop is a little bit farther back. It's a wide park, especially in foul territory on the infield, and then it narrows up as you get to the lines in the outfield.
Well, bounce back now.
2 balls, 0 strikes. Baker checks the runner. Grant Smith bails out. The 2-0 pitch swung on, skied high into right center field.
Oh,
Foreman
boy.
tracking to the gap, makes the backhanded play, crashing into the wall. He falls down, flips the ball to Sandoval. He throws it in. Grotto is going to take third base, and TJ Foreman is shaken up at the wall.
Oh, no.
And I thought that he caught that ball, but right now it looks like that Tate Samuelson is in at second base.
Looked like Austin Carrillo just booked it to the outfield. He's going to take care of Foreman,
Oh,
and this
my
is
goodness.
a scary play.
It's a scary play. The runner at second base, I'm curious what the call on the field was because
They called him safe at second. They said that Foreman caught the ball, then he hit the wall, dropped it, and that the runner at second is going to be safe. So the play right now, as it stands, is runners at second and third because Foreman dropped the ball. I thought he caught it, then hit the wall, and then it came out, and that it should have been an out. But the umpire, he called him safe. Even Tate Samuelson, who was running, he didn't think that that was going to be the call, and he had a tough break. He had to jump right to the second base bag late, but
well, Foreman flipped the ball to Raul
Yeah.
Sandoval, so that makes me believe that he caught it because he flipped it from his glove to Sandoval.
And Cole Baker, who watched, he definitely was pointing around saying, whoa, I thought TJ caught that ball. So I'm not entirely sure. It all happened so fast. I guarantee you that's what the umpires are conversing about. And then Carrillo is coming in a sprint right now as he meets the coaching staff about halfway.
So a scary scene here in Conejo. We're going to step aside. We'll come back when TJ Foreman is back on his feet. Back here in the bottom of the 6th inning, a scary update for TJ Foreman. He made the catch, so the play is an out. Mason Grotto had to trek back to second base. TJ Foreman, he was just carted off after he was able to stand up on his own feet after about 3 or 4 minutes on the ground, but could not trek much further. He was leaning against the wall in center field, and they eventually brought out the cart for him. Hopefully TJ is okay. Hunter Call comes into right field to replace him.
I think it's fair to say now, obviously such a tough circumstance for the Oaks and for TJ, who's had a great night, great couple of weeks. Call comes in, but I guess you can say this: what a catch! I mean, if God forbid this is his last play of the summer, what a catch! I mean, talk about a player who's been laying it all out this summer. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, very first pitch of the Oaks season, he laid out in foul territory at Sparky Anderson and made a catch against the Ventura Pirates. So I hope it's not the last game we see from Foreman, but man, what a summer that kid's had.
Absolutely, and I mean, TJ, every time I see him, he has a big old grin on his face, and to see him go out right here on a play that he made, like you said, it was impressive. He trucked over a while and made the catch, and really, that's just the style of baseball player he is. He just plays so aggressive. He's such a good fielder. Made the play, slammed into the wall, and obviously it's a scary play. We don't know how significant the injury is, but hopefully it's not too bad. He can maybe play on the next 2 games, but it's just a scary moment, and it's just sad that it's happening to such a great baseball player like TJ Foreman.
And Ryan, let's just say that the Oaks do come away with this, and TJ will be the hero, because if that ball drops, I'm not saying inside the park because TJ has a good arm, but if that ball had dropped and TJ had gone into the wall, runs are coming in and everything. So if the Oaks do pull away with this, that catch ultimately changed the tempo of the game. But let's hope that, obviously, safety first. Let's get to baseball. Obviously, Baker has more on his mind. Refocus. Do it for TJ. Why not? We've lost players to injury this summer.
And that was you're absolutely right, a game-saving catch in the 6th inning. The Oaks needed that catch from TJ. He came in the big spot when he needed him, but now the umpires, they're convening, and I think they're trying to decide if Mason Grotto should be on second or third base. I thought he tagged properly, but they're going to say that, actually, it was an appeal by Coach Solis that the throw was back into second base and that Grotto was standing on third and that he didn't tag properly. I'm not sure why there would be a scenario in which Grotto would still end up on second base, whether either he tagged properly and he should be on third, or he didn't and he should be out at second. But nonetheless, runner in scoring position at second base with 2 outs. We have to get back to baseball, and Vince Bologna is at the plate to face off against Cole Baker.
God forbid they bring in the rule book again.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Bologna whiffs at a breaking ball, diving out of the zone, so the count 0-1.
We mentioned that to our viewers. For anyone that caught the Santa Barbara Foresters game, the very first game of the season that they matched up against each other, there was a 30-minute delay to check the rules, and that eventually resulted in a end of game because of the daylight actually ran out. We ran out of daylight because of the call.
0-1. Line into right field, coming in his call, diving outside of his glove. He can't make the play. Running to the wall as the ball treks all the way to the wall. Going to third is Bologna. A run's going to come in to score, and this game is 4-3. And that's the difference in right field between TJ Foreman and Hunter Call.
And the problem is, with any time you lay out for a ball, whatever position you're in the outfield, if that ball, you better make sure that gets by you, because if it gets by you, or beg your pardon, you better make sure that ball falls into your mitt, because if that ball gets by you, you could risk it inside the Parker. And it didn't have as much speed, Bologna, around the bases, but God forbid they had a speedster out there.
Yeah, and you've seen that from Hunter Call all season. He's been really aggressive, and right there he's aggressive again. It seemed like he had a late dive to it, but he just couldn't make the catch. And it's another one of those plays that Call dives for, he misses, and the ball rolls to the wall.
Martinez swings and misses, count 0-1. So that's 2 hits in this inning that Baker probably shouldn't have allowed. The single on the infield where Cabral threw it to Bobo a little bit up the line to allow for an infield single, and then that one just dropped right in front of the mid of Hunter Call.
Now let's be clear. That is, if that ball drops in front of Hunter and Hunter plays that up, he can maybe throw his glove up and deke him a little bit. That run would have scored probably regardless. That ball was dropping. However, that results in him being at third base. So let's see if Baker can get this strikeout, limit the damage, go to work on the top of the seventh.
0-2 count to Vince Martinez. He's already struck out on 3 pitches so far today. The 0-2 bounces in, arrows, backhand pick to keep it from getting behind him. 1-2 the count.
And Knight, I want to see if Cole goes to a fastball that tails away on the outside part of the plate. That's what allowed Bologna to get on base and put that ball into play, and a good piece of hitting from Bologna. But I want to see if Baker goes to the outside part of the plate again, or if he goes way inside and gets him to chase.
The 1-2, breaking ball in the dirt, arrows, blocks it. 2-2 the count.
Well, I feel heard.
It'll happen throughout the season. You want something to happen, you try to set it up, and then the pitcher doesn't do what you say.
You think you know the pattern of a pitcher sometimes. Thankfully we don't, because then the hitters of the Blues would know it too. So, I mean. But let's see where Cole goes here as he goes out of the windup again.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a line drive into right field. Call lets it drop in front of him and get behind him again. Sandoval backing up the play. This game is 5-3. Headed into third now is Vince Martinez. And so back-to-back triples as this ball gets away from Melhoff, but Carrillo backs up the play enough so that the run can't come in again. So the loss of TJ Foreman leads to back-to-back triples for Bologna and now Martinez.
And it's really, really just heartbreaking to see this happening right now. You know, Foreman, he played such a great game defensively, and then Hunter Call comes in and back-to-back balls hit to him. And, man, that's just a crazy coincidence that the back-to-back batters after the play by Foreman go to right field and Call can't get there. And it's just really unfortunate for the Oaks right now as the lead's now 2 for the Blues.
Austin Kretschmar, he comes in, and he strike out and a walk so far on the day. First pitch misses high, the count 1-0. Updates on the Blues and Riptide game. Orange County has gotten within 2 in the 8th inning. It is 5-3. If the Oaks lose today and Orange County comes back to win, then the Oaks are out of playoff contention as Baker finds the zone, the count 1-1.
So that just makes it even more. Obviously, we've seen the Oaks come back in some remarkable ways. Obviously, that Sulak bases clearing double was as a result of a comeback.
They've only done it twice all year, the Sulak double and the Barons.
But this team is relentless and make the play.
Fly ball in foul territory, right field line. Bobo, he watches it go into foul territory. Results in a high foul ball, the count 1-2.
That'll make tomorrow's matchup even more exciting. If somehow the Oaks can't pull this one off and Orange County does drop it to the Saints tomorrow, the circumstance, correct me if I'm wrong, the circumstance would be the Oaks would have to win tomorrow against Orange County and win Sunday, and Orange County would also have to lose on Sunday.
Yes.
And Orange County has the Foresters on Sunday.
Yes, if the Oaks lose, if both teams lose today, the Oaks have to win out, and Orange County has to lose out for the Oaks to make the playoffs.
If that means the Foresters are playing the Riptide on Sunday, that might be the first day I ever root for the Foresters.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. A strikeout, and Baker gets out of the inning, his second K of the day. But not after. The Blues get 2 back, and TJ Foreman, unfortunately, is carted off due to an injury. We'll come back in the top of the 7th inning where the Oaks, they try to battle. Ryan Milano, Knight Uretsky, Logan Safarenko. Knight take over play-by-play for the rest of this game.
Thank you, Ryan. So Daniel Cabral to lead it off. The first pitch to him, it's called a strike. 0-1 the count. Cabral, Carrillo, and then Hunter Call. Yesterday you called them the Killer C's. Call coming in for TJ Foreman, who was injured last inning. The 0-1 to Cabral, called a strike, and now Cabral's down 0-2. 5-3 the score. The Blues, they lead.
Base runner. I don't care how. You're getting in the later parts of the game. You got to get a base runner.
The 0-2 pitch. Cabral's going to pop this one up. It's coming back towards the booth and hits the roof on top of us.
Oh, we had that.
It was close. It was a few inches. It was close. And you mentioned base runner Cabral. He might be one of the worst Oaks at getting on via the base runner. He is 258 in on-base percentage.
What was that about that?
Yeah, what was that?
Proving me wrong. He's proven me wrong. He's improving that 111 batting average. That's just his 4th hit of the year.
Yeah, and Cabral, he'd been lining out balls to left field twice, as 2 previous times. He lined out both times, got good barrel on it. And that time, it finally dropped. He lined a ball to left field, a 4-pitch bat to Cabral, and it puts a runner on. And now the tying run at the plate, Austin Carrillo, in a 2-run game here in the 7th.
Now, Knight, with the top of the lineup coming up and the way that Carrillo can swing the bat, I'm real curious if they're going to tell him to go bunt here. I know you got 2 runs. It'd be nice. You got nobody out. I'd say let him swing, get some base runners going. But it's going to be real interesting to see if he shows bunt right here.
Yeah, the Blues are thinking the same thing as you as they throw back to first in there safely as Cabral as the ball got away from Clarkson.
And they have a tendency this season with runners on and no one out to have Austin Carrillo bunt, despite the fact that Carrillo has been so great in his own right of just getting on base his own way. He's bunted for base hits a few times this season, but most of those have come when there's no one on base.
First pitch to Carrillo. He swings. He fouls it back to the screen. 0-1 the count.
So not going to bunt.
If the time would be to bunt, it would be right now with nobody out. I mean, I maybe hunt with Hunter up because Hunter's now on deck because he's entering the game in TJ Foreman's spot in the two hole in the lineup. See if Carrillo can do something, though.
0-1 the count to Carrillo. The pitch. Carrillo slaps it the other way. It's going into foul territory. Samuelson makes the play in foul territory. Carrillo's retired on a flyout, and 1 is gone here in the 7th.
That's not what we needed to happen. Either that and a double play were the worst scenarios, but let's see if Hunter can come in and be the hero now.
Hunter Call replacing TJ Foreman, who tragically had to leave the game with an injury after he slammed into the right field wall. He made a heck of a catch. And then Hunter Call came into the game. 2 runs scored on balls hit his way. Both triples, one by Vince Bologna and one by Vince Martinez. Call with a chance to get some runs back for the Oaks. First pitch to him is called a strike. 0-1 the count.
He's got to be selective here. Like, he has to compose himself in the batter's box, obviously. Very vocal about the strike zone. Take a pitch you like. Don't take so many. Swing the bat, Hunter. Let's see something.
Runner goes. The 0-1. Swing and a miss from Call. And because of the swing and miss.
They're going to call interference on Hunter probably. Yep. The bat was in the way, and they're going to send Cabral back.
And that was a hit-and-run scenario. And I have to think that Hunter Call was probably trying to get away with something there. Because he did take a step towards home plate and held that stance for much longer than we typically see of him.
So Call's out on interference. Back to first is Cabral. Call was the man that Carrillo was having the hit and run yesterday that Carrillo was thrown out at second. Call did swing this time. Carrillo, he was thrown out after Call did not swing.
So Bobo Knight had the go-ahead 2-run bomb against San Luis Obispo 2 times ago at Cal Lutheran. So this is a big spot for Bobo. Striking out 3 times on the night. This is the time to do it. You got the righty on lefty matchup. Wind's dying down a little bit. Right field looks nice for Bobo.
Throw back to first.
Oh.
It was a close play right there. Yeah, Cabral, they call him safe at first, but man, Lions throw a bullet to first base. Clarkson was there with the tag. In there safely, though, is Cabral. 1-0 the count to Brendan Bobo. Bobo hit 2 home runs yesterday, but the wind going now dead here. Typically, the wind blows towards left field, the opposite way of a left-handed pull hitter in Bobo. But the wind, it seems to be died down. The flag's blowing straight down, and maybe this could be the time for Bobo. Bobo takes a pitch inside, and now he's ahead 2-0.
No, they know what he can do in the inside. I know Bobo, he hits home runs on pitches inside, out, in front, but get him. They're throwing inside on him. Throw it just a little bit more over the plate. Doesn't even need to be a strike. Bobo has definitely hit a home run this season off of a ball.
Cabral at first, 2 outs. The 2-0 to Bobo. Check swing, did not go, and 3-0 the count now to Bobo. So 3 strikeouts today for Bobo, but he's ahead 3-0 here in the 7th.
And despite 3 strikeouts today, he's swinging a hot bat. Yesterday, 3 for 5 day with 4 runs batted in and 2 home runs.
The 3-0 to Bobo.
That's a ball. Nice.
It is a ball. So a 4-pitch walk to Brendan Bobo, the power hitter, and now the tying runs at first in Bobo. Coming up to the plate, Brendan Durfee, the DH.
Hey, we've seen some things before at this field, and I've waited. We might get a pitching change might go lefty on lefty if I'm not mistaken of who's warming up in the bullpen. But let's see how Durfee does with a couple of runners on the bases right now.
That moved Cabral to second, Bobo to first, and now a mound meeting, and I believe you are right. There is going to be a pitching change. We're going to step aside and take a break. We'll find out who the new pitcher is as we come back. 2 outs, down by 2 in the 7th. Let's see if the Oaks can come back. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Logan Safarenko, Ryan Milano with you. The new pitcher on the mound is going to be Ryan Ward, a righty on lefty matchup they go to. 2 runners on, 2 outs. First pitch to Durfee, runs away, 1-0 the count.
He doesn't have to do anything spectacular here. Obviously, I run by run, but you pull one in down the right field line, and Bobo gets a good jump. Don't be surprised if we see him go.
2-1 record on the year for Ryan Ward, a 2.21 ERA, so a trusted arm of the Blues. The 1-0 pitch to Durfee, outside part of the plate, called a strike.
That was outside.
Little biased.
I'm not sure. I thought that was a pretty close pitch.
It was a close one. You know, maybe from my angle it was a strike, but Durfee didn't want that. Bottom line, Durfee didn't take that, and now you see Lauren Frank on the on-deck circle swinging some bats.
Durfee fouls off a pitch, and now he's behind 1-2.
And that means Grant Smith stays done with Lauren Frank in the on-deck circle.
Man, look at Lauren Frank go, just absolutely swinging. Is it 2 bats at once?
Yeah. 2 bats.
Yeah, 2. Hopefully he can get on. Come on, Durf.
1-2 count. Cabral at second and Bobo at first. Runners go, pitch to Durfee. He grounds it foul down the first base line. We'll do the 1-2 again.
That is an aggressive suicide hit and run right there.
It is. 2 outs in the inning, 1-2 the count. They were expecting Durfee to get a strike. He did. He fouled it off. So, Durfee today struck out on his last time out. Grounded out prior to that in the third. And now here, looks at a pitch outside. 2-2 the count.
And a really good job by Esperanza right there. It was on his glove side, so a little bit easier to block it, but that pitch was running away from the plate on the outside, already off the plate. And Esperanza, good job to shuffle out of his stance, get into the left-hander's or the right-hander's batter's box, and be able to prevent that ball from going to the backstop and letting the Oaks advance bases.
The 2-2 pitch. Below the
Good
knees.
take.
And we talked about it earlier.
Yep.
Durfee's plate discipline right here on display.
Let's see it right now, though, with a full count and 2 outs.
6 pitches so far in this at bat. Runners at first and second, so if Durfee walks, the bases will be loaded. 2-run game here in the 7th.
They're going to go.
And
Ooh, interesting.
stepping off the mound is Ryan Ward.
We've seen a few times this season where pitchers have done that turnaround pick off the second base and have caught runners in between. Cabral, a good job right there to get back.
The 3-2 pitch. Durfee, he's going to ground one left side, fielded by Fenn, the shortstop. The throw across the diamond in time, and the Oaks, they're going to strand 2 runners on as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-3 the score. The Blues, they lead. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano, Logan Safarenko with you here in San Luis Obispo. First pitch here in the bottom of the 7th to Ryan Fenn was called a strike. 0-1 the count to the shortstop. The second pitch from Cole Baker runs outside, and now the count's even 1-1. Baker came into the game last inning. 2 runs came across on his watch. Did get 2 strikeouts, though. 1 to TJ Clarkson and 1 to Austin Kretzmar. And now a 1-1 count to Ryan Fenn here in the 7th. The pitch, Fenn looks at it, misses, and now 2-0 or 2-1 the count.
And right here, Cole Baker let up 2 runs in the last inning, and 2 runs that he probably feels neither of them should have been coming through on his watch. So how is he going to bounce back in this inning?
Fenn grounds it up the middle, fielded by Smith. He throws it across, and the play is made.
So Grant Smith is still in the game, even though Lauren Frank was in the on-deck circle. I presume he wasn't declared on the lineup card yet because he didn't get the at-bat, so Smith able to stay in defensively for another inning.
I'm curious to see who they're going to put in at second.
Probably Cody Sulak.
Yeah.
Cody Sulak.
Or they're going to put JT Naviak at short and move Cabral over to second.
Oh, I was like, put in Sulak, the blue killer.
Sulak with that go-ahead bases clearing double the last time we were here, and now it looks like a mound meeting happening.
I believe Rinkover is warming up in the bullpen. There's no light shining on the bullpen. It's kind of the light right directly on top of the bullpen is shining on the field, so you can't get a good look, but indeed it is a left-handed pitcher for the Oaks.
Now it looks like a meeting with the umpire, too.
My guess, it looks like Brent Jocks. Jocks is a lefty, right?
No.
He's not a lefty. I didn't think he was, but the mannerisms look like Brent Jocks.
Big, tall righty who we got to troll on the bus a little bit on the way over. Shout out to Tobias Plotkin.
Maybe Jacob Flores?
Oh, it could be.
I think it's Jacob
Could
Flores.
be Flores.
You know, they both went to the same high school, Rio Mesa, where Coach Solis coaches.
Interesting. All right. Time for a game break. I know we're all so curious about it, even though the Oaks are trailing. However, we do have good news to report. The Arroyo Seco Saints are on top of the OC Riptide. They've extended their lead to 7 runs. Orange County with 3. They just added 1 right back. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 outs and a runner at first. So we'll be monitoring that because, quite frankly, if the Oaks cannot figure this one out, they do have a life tomorrow. Now, if let's just say that the scoreboards stick to where they are, that means tomorrow's game is going to be a quote-unquote Game 163, Game 7 of the World Series, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. It's a big game, and I think Cole Baker might actually be leaving this game because of an injury.
Yeah, he took a few warm-up pitches and then trotted out of the game. So Lees, I think, wanted to make sure that he was okay. And something just a little bit wrong with Cole Baker as he trots out, and now a new pitcher going to come in, and we'll figure out who that pitcher is when we come back.
Yeah, we're going to step aside. Hey, Uretsky, Ryan Milano, Logan Soforenko with you here today. Jacob Flores is going to be the new man on the mound, the left-hander out of San Diego State. So as correctly predicted by me, it is Flores the lefty. First pitch misses to Ryan Cermak, 1-0.
Hey, we said it was a lefty.
You did.
I said it was a lefty. You said Flores. It's been fun to watch Flores this time this summer. See if he can hold it.
1-0.
Nice.
Swing and a miss from Cermak, and the count's even 1-1. Cermak 0 for 3 today with a couple of flyouts and a ground out.
Flores so far this season hasn't given up a run yet. He's had 3 1/3 innings pitched over 2 performances. Knocking on wood here in the booth.
It's metal. I don't know what this is. I think it's wood, but
It's plastic.
whatever it works.
The 1-1 swung on and missed by Cermak, and now the count's 1-2. He gets ahead, Flores does.
Flores, who played with the Oaks prior to this season before, he's been with the club before, came mid-season this year.
I wouldn't say mid-season.
Like
I'd say
late quarter season.
Late quarter season. Yeah, this is only his 3rd appearance. The
Yeah.
1-2 runs away, and now the count's even 2-2.
And it's just been a few uncharacteristic errors from Anson Arrows towards the later part of the season. That ball that ran away from him right there after it hit his glove, we've seen a few times this year where he's had similar plays to that, where he was so sure-handed at the start of the season. Maybe it's just too much baseball in one time.
This one's grounded off of Flores' hand, and now Smith can't field it, and Cermak's going to reach first safely.
Be curious to see how they score that. That's a hit. That's just off the glove, maybe deflected. Maybe an E1, I don't know. I look like they just threw up a hit on the scoreboard. I forget. Home scorers typically, shout out to our home official scorer at the Conejo Oaks, Jose, for we always ask him, hey, is it a hit or error? We want to make sure that that's right because, for kids that go, or I beg your pardon, for players that go 0 for 11, they want to make sure, did they get the hit? He snapped an 0 for skid. So now they got a runner at first with 1 out. Let's see if we can either turn double play or get the outs in order.
So now up to the plate, A.J. Esperanza, the catcher. Runner on first, 1 out. The pitch from Flores.
Nice spot.
Called the strike, off speed, inside, 0-1. Yeah, that was a great spot right there. Esperanza had a single in the 4th, which he came around to score on. But other than that, he had a ground out and a fly out. Flores goes back to first, and that's going to get past Bobo. Heading over to second now is Cermak. He's digging for 3. They're finally fielding it in right field, and now they're literally scrambling for it. I'm not sure.
It's on the pitcher. They threw it into Jacob
Sorry.
Flores. The third base coach was yelling at Ryan Cermak to round 3. And by the time Cermak touched third base, the ball was already in Flores' mitt.
That was almost a disgusting pickoff move because his head was at home plate. His weight was toward first. Bobo wasn't ready for it.
So Cermak first to third.
Now you see the infield playing in on the grass.
Yeah, 2-run game.
It's a big run.
The Oaks, they're looking to prevent any more runs from coming in. Just kind of have 1 runner on, and then you could bring a tying run to the plate. But right here, trying to preserve a 2-run game, infield in. Flores, curveball inside, misses. 1-0. Or excuse me, 1-1. So Esperanza saw a strike, then the throw back to first, got past Bobo, sent Cermak from first to third, and now 1-1 count, 1 out. Esperanza is going to ground it foul down the first baseline. Bobo goes over and retreats it in foul territory, 1-2 now. So Flores allowed the single from Cermak. It was a hard hit ball up the middle. And now Cermak 90 feet away from scoring. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing by Esperanza coming in as Cabral. He looks to third, keeps the runner there, throws to first, and Esperanza's retired on a ground out to Cabral, and they prevent the run from scoring, and now there's 2 outs.
And a really good play from Cabral right there. It was off the end of the bat. It was a spinner. Cabral able to not only field it cleanly, but look back at the runner and make the throw to first base in a timely manner. On a slow chopper right back to him. A beautiful play by Daniel Cabral at shortstop. And now the Oaks went out away from getting out of the inning.
One word to describe that: composure. It's really easy. It's really easy, as we saw a lot around Major League Baseball the past couple of days, to look at the runner and throw the ball into the stands. I'm not dishing any Dodger fans out there. However,
We're both Giants fans, so we loved it.
Cody Bellinger's throw the other night. But, yeah, it's good to stay composed and throw it over to first. See if Flores can get the job done, though.
We were actually joking during the Barons game, a couple of the wild pitches. We were saying the Cody Bellinger accuracy was out there. Swing and a miss from Grotto. 0-1 the count. So, 2 outs now after the ground out by Esperanza. Grotto, a double and a single in his last 2 plate appearances. A big spot here. The 0-1 pitch from Flores. Off speed, catches the zone. Ooh.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. That was a very generous call by the umpire.
Regardless of the call, that is a great pitch for a breaking ball. He wanted that inside. He wanted to either jam him or get that a strike. I like that pitch from Flores. One more. Come on. Get out of town.
0-2 the count. 2 outs. Flores looking to escape without allowing a run. The pitch in. Fouled away, and Grotto stays alive.
Oh, man. We nearly saw a balk there. Cermak at third took a very extended lead, but luckily, Flores being a left-hander, he didn't have to look over. He wasn't bothered by it. He delivered the pitch and got Grotto to spoil it. So let's see if he can do it again this time.
Yeah, a right-handed pitcher staring that down. It would be difficult to not do.
They're going to throw it home.
Trying to steal home is Cermak.
Nice.
He's thrown out as Flores steps off the mound and comes home. It's not a pitch, but it's an out, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 7th. No runners are left on as we head to the 8th. 5-3 the score. The Blues, they lead.
Well, that was a really smart play by Jacob Flores as we head to our break. The composure to step off the hill and then go home. But you're absolutely right. We'll come back. 6 more outs for both teams until this game's over.
Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano, Logan Safarenko with you. A three-man crew today as the Oaks, they're trailing by 2 here in the top of the 8th inning. Warren Frank, he's going to come in and pinch hit. We saw him on deck for Grant Smith, and now actually going to pinch hit for Grant Smith here in the 8th.
I think of this more of a 2.5-man crew.
Whoa.
Whoa.
You know, the show, 2.5 Men. I think that we.
Oh, okay. I got
It's a
nervous.
2.5-man crew.
Did you see me watching that on the bus today? Is that why we're throwing a 2.5 Men reference out there? I definitely watched 2.5 Men.
I did see you, but I don't know how Ryan got that
The
one.
Conejo,
I was spying on you.
the Conejo Oaks are not sponsored nor endorsed by Peacock TV.
One
Baseball.
of the counts of Frank. He's going to sky one high in the air towards right field. Coming over is Bologna near the line. He makes the catch, and Frank's retired.
And it didn't look like he saw that. He put out his hands like he lost it, and then I think he regained the vision as he was trekking towards the line and ended up making play.
Those lights can be tough. Those lights realistically could be like the sun. The worst thing in the world is that people don't understand. Even I'm not sure how many of these guys have played in domes, but the dome, any sort of dome you play in, the lights are like the sun. And even outside, it's worse because the ball travels more because it can, because it's outdoors. Even though the wind's basically, you're looking straight away center field, nothing.
So Anson Arrows comes up to the plate. The Oaks, they have 5 more outs to work with to try to come back by 2. First pitch to Anson Arrows. He's going to chop it foul down the third base line. 0-1 the count.
Time for a quick little update. The Arroyo Seco Saints have defeated the OC Riptide. So the Oaks hanging by a thread in the playoff race right now. Let's see if we can work some magic and got 5 outs to do it. However, if we drop this game, tomorrow should be very interesting at 4 p.m. at Sparky Anderson Field on the campus of Cal Lutheran. Last Saturday home game.
The 0-1, Arrows grounds it to Fenn. The shortstop, he bobbles it, now picks it up, throws to first. Arrows beats out the throw, and a runner is on for the Oaks.
Yeah, and an error by Ryan Fenn right there. He was trying to pick it up. It ate him up on the hands and not able to keep it in front of him. Arrows, he's a speedy catcher down the line, and it's hard to catch him running full speed if you're going to make a mistake.
And indeed, SLO is, or I beg your pardon, the Oaks are going to charge that as an error on the shortstop. So regardless, having a runner at first is huge. Let's see if Melhoff lays down a bunt or maybe hits.
Second error of the day for the Blues. The first one cost them a run. Extended the inning in the first. The Oaks then scored another run on an RBI double by Grant Smith. Now Melhoff swings at the first pitch to him. He grounds it foul down the first base line, and 0-1 the count.
I don't know if I'm reading this right, but if I'm looking at the scoreboard out in left center field, they have given the Blues 1 error. So did that line shot?
I think they had 1-1, and then they added the error to the wrong team.
Okay. I was very curious because I'm like, was that a hit way back in the first inning? The Durfee, I guess you could say, line out drop?
No, they had 1 error on that scoreboard since all the way back in the first inning.
Yeah. Melhoff looks at a pitch and misses outside, and now the count's even 1-1.
And we've talked about the implications for the Oaks in this game. There are similar implications for SLO. If the Blues win this game, they clinch a playoff spot.
Well, there it is.
The 1-1 pitch, Melhoff slaps it foul. He stays alive.
Obviously, the playoffs are going to be August 4th through 6th up in Lincoln, California. That's going to be a very fun experience for the teams that are up there.
I'm hoping we go up there. August 4th is my birthday. I hope to call some baseball on my birthday. I think that'd be exciting.
Are you going up there, Logan? I know me and Knight are if the Oaks make the playoffs.
Hey, we'll see. I mean, now that I've been invited by Ryan Milano, maybe we'll see. Let's get there first. Got a
I'm not sure if it was an invite. It was more of an inquiry.
Okay.
The 1-2 to Melhoff. It misses. Gets past Esperanza, heading to second. Now is the runner Anson Arrows, and now a runner in scoring position for the Oaks. 2-2 the count now.
That's a different circumstance than a previous pass ball / wild pitch. That one didn't go all the way to the backstop, so that's the perfect definition of read ball dirt. Now Melhoff's got to be smart here with 2 strikes. Don't be taking anything close to the strike zone. Find a way to defend, even if that means spoiling a couple of pitches.
Runner on second, 1 out, 2-2 the count. The pitch to Melhoff. Swings at a ball in the dirt, and he's sent down swinging for the second time today.
Well, in the words of how I do it at Sparky Anderson, time for Raul to do something amazing for the Oaks. I mean, look, don't try and do something insane. Get one run back at a time with 2 outs, extend the inning, and if that means driving in arrows, so be it.
Raul Sandoval, he's been on twice with runners in scoring position. In the 4th inning, he was on with Grant Smith at second base, could not drive him in. In the 6th inning, he was on with runners on second and third, could not drive either of them in either, now trying to redeem himself.
First pitch gets past Esperanza. It was a pitch outside. Rose goes to third, and now a runner 90 feet away for the Oaks.
Give us another one of those.
Wild pitches have really helped the Oaks. They've advanced a lot of bases, in particular in the 6th inning on wild pitches, and now Arrows, he's jumped on 2 wild pitches to go from first to third. That is the 3rd time he's advanced in this game on a wild pitch.
And he took that ball that scored the, at the time, tying run on a pass ball.
The 1-0 pitch to Sandoval. Looked at, called the strike, count even 1-1. Sandoval, his last time up, he drove a ball that was hard hit to left field. Mason Grotto caught up to it. Potentially one of the hardest hit balls today.
We haven't seen too many hits from the Oaks that has reached outside, or that has reached in the outside part of the outfield. You know, we've seen the only thing we've seen is some slicing balls happen down the right field line, but other than that, a lot of line drives to the left field side, and let's get some stuff where it can fall. This is the perfect spot for it.
2-1 the count after the pitch missed high. The pitch to Sandoval now bounces in. Sandoval holds Arrows at third, and now 3-1 the count to Raul.
And Cabral waits on deck. Had a good at-bat last time he was up. Beat out that throw.
Sandoval this season, he only has 6 walks on the year compared to 36 strikeouts.
3-1 the count. The pitch. Sandoval's going to chop it right back to the pitcher. Throwing to first is Ward, and that'll do it for the top of the 8th inning. So the Oaks strand a runner 90 feet away. We head to the bottom of the 8th. The Oaks, they're trailing by 2 in a crucial game. We'll be back for the bottom of the inning. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano, Logan Soferenko with you here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-3 the score. The Blues, they lead. Jacob Flores still on the mound. First pitch to Mason Grotto, called a strike. Remember, Grotto was up last inning, saw 3 pitches to him before Ryan Cermak tried to steal home. Flores stepped off the mound, threw to the dish, and got Cermak out. It was a 1-2-3 inning in a really unique way, as now Grotto skies one out to center field and actually right field. Call makes the play, and one is gone.
It's always deceiving being in, behind home plate, high up. That place just seems like right center field feels like left center field. But that ball definitely sliced a little bit.
It sliced a little bit. And also, I think, like, for me, I just lost it in the lights. And, I mean, I'm not even on the field, but right there, it just got a little bit too high. And either way, Call came over from right field and made the play. New substitution, Cody Sulak now at second base. First pitch called to strike to TJ Clarkson.
The blue killer.
Yeah, you got your blue killer in the game.
He's got to see that bat, though.
Folks, for those who don't know what I mean by blue killer, the last time Cody Sulak faced the San Luis Obispo Blues, he had a bases clearing double,
Three RBI
double that probably would be I'd say best hit of his life.
The hit of the
highlight
season.
of the hit of the season, highlight of the season.
I'd say it's the highlight
That
of the
was
season.
that game. I tuned in literally for 30 seconds, and the second I tuned in, it was that hit.
And then you tuned out?
I didn't tune out. I watched
You
the
said
rest
you
of the
only
game.
tuned in for 30 seconds.
Well, you know what I mean.
1-1 the count after the pitch missed outside. This one sliced and fouled by Clarkson, and now Flores gets ahead 1-2.
that one had the right angle to come into the booth. If it was straight
Yeah.
back.
You'd be surprised how many foul balls come in the upper decks of stadiums. I sat in the upper deck at a Red Sox Angel game a couple weeks back, and there was like 7 fly balls in the upper deck. And then one my mom actually reached over, and the glove, there's like we were in the first row, the ledge, it bonked off the ledge, and we want to risk it. But spoiled foul balls are fun.
The 1-2, this one's lined over the glove of Sulak into right field. Clarkson's aboard with the single. So, runner on, 1 out for the Blues. Logan, you talk about the Angels a lot for being a Red Sox fan. That's probably the
He
third
was at a Red Sox game.
I know.
It's the only stadium I've been to this year because of COVID. I'm going to a Dodger-Padre game as a neutral baseball spectator in just a couple of weeks on 9/11.
That's exciting.
Look, we were talking to Radinsky on the bus. Or it was Radinsky or Raul, and he said that he's just a fan of baseball and didn't have a team.
That was Raul.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do that.
baseball is such an amazing sport. And I think what's amazing about I speak on all the broadcasters and the staff at the Oaks. I didn't know these guys coming in except for obviously the Cal Lutheran guys, and you grow to appreciate the game a little bit more. And just as a neutral person, even when there's not the best outcomes and the other team wins, but if they're classy about it, you like seeing good baseball. And it's not fun for when your own team like the Oaks gets walked off, but I think this summer has allowed us to learn about players we never really knew about, so we can learn about their journeys in Division 1 and 2 and 3 and JUCO college.
And you're absolutely right. Sorry, go ahead, Nate.
1-2 the count to Samuelson after the first 2 pitches were even, 1 apiece, 1 a strike, 1 a ball, and Samuelson just fouled off a pitch, and now 1-2 the count, runner on first and Clarkson.
And Logan, I think you're absolutely right. It's given me a new appreciation for these players in the game of baseball, and it's also turned me into a fan. I'm now an Arkansas fan for Zach Gregory and for Evan Gray, and I'm now an Ole Miss fan.
I'm an Ole Miss fan. I like watching Cole Baker and Cody Adcock.
And
They've been
Reagan Burfict.
I'm an Austin P fan for TJ
Yeah.
Clarkson now. I mean, heck, I didn't even know where Austin P was, let alone how to pronunciate Austin P.
And
we didn't know.
We didn't know.
And not many people know the dynamic of how Division I sports, or not Division I, but NCAA baseball works. That these guys, there's leagues all across the country that happen during the summer just so these kids can stay in shape and work on what they want to do in the fall and what didn't work for them in the spring. And with 2 games left, maybe more, they can take that away and go into their seasons.
The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss from Samuelson. A strikeout for Flores, his first of the day, and now 2 are gone here in the 8th.
And not only Division I sports, but also Division III sports. I mean,
Or T2.
yeah, or Division II.
JUCO.
I mean, Cal Lutheran. I want to watch some Cal Lutheran games. I want to hear you, Logan, on the broadcast.
Yeah.
I want to be able to see I want to be able to see Brendan Durfee and Austin Carrillo hit. I want to be able to see Chris Torres and Clay Rickerman be able to pitch, as well as Alexander Rivas and just the D3 baseball. I want to be able to see these guys that are just playing baseball.
Pitch gets past Arrows. It was a ball inside. Heading to second now is Clarkson, and now a runner in scoring position for the Blues.
That I would assume would be considered a pass ball. And now, what's cool about Anson is you mentioned having a couple of errors the past couple of games, but he's been remarkable to watch this summer. And he's just any switch hitting catcher. I feel like they were common for a little bit, and they didn't really see too many. Now they're back out there, and Anson has been a spectacular player for the Oaks.
The 1-0, this one's slicing foul to the right side. Call given chase, and it goes out of play into the cages.
Thank you.
So 1-1 the count now. 2 outs, runner on second and Clarkson. And going back to the talk about D1, D2, D3 baseball, even Anson Arrows.
Junior college, Tobias Plotkin.
Tobias Plotkin as well. A lot of these guys. Brian Perez, he just signed a contract with the Astros. He was from JUCO.
Best of luck to that kid. That kid had such a personality with the sideways hat and just walking to the mound. Hopefully he has some success out there with Houston.
1-1. This one's lined up the middle. Coming around and being waved is Clarkson. Fielding it in center field is Sandoval. The throw is going to be cut off. And an RBI single for Vince Bologna. And the Blues, they extend the lead. It's 6-3.
Yeah, that good piece of hitting. Just take it up the middle. Heartbreaker for the Oaks because you definitely wanted to have a scoreless inning going into the top of the 9th inning. However, get the out and then send it to your lineup in the top of the 9th to see if we can get some magic going.
And the pass ball, too, just haunting the Oaks.
Exactly. And back to the point, I think it speaks to the level that you have to be to play college baseball because on this team, the Oaks have JUCO guys, Division III guys, Division II guys, Division I guys, and it's all over the map, and no one really feels out of place. Some of the Division III guys are some of the most important players for the Oaks. Austin Carrillo is batting leadoff. He's one of the highest on-base percentages. Clay Rickerman is the closer for the Oaks. And then you look at even the JUCO guys. You have guys like Chris Torres from Glendale, and you also have Tobias Plotkin from Glendale Community College. And these Glendale Community College guys, as well as the other community college guys.
Rencover, he's from Pierce. He just he signed to go to UC Irvine.
Exactly. It's about the development and the ability as another pass ball gets past Anson Arrows and the runner advances to second. But it's about the ability of all of these guys and the appreciation that in JUCO baseball, there's not that much of a difference other than just opportunity to play.
And I think that's something that I learned, too, is that you can be a dude at any level. Like, you can have raw talent at D1, D2, D3, JUCO. I mean, it doesn't matter where you play. You can be drafted to baseball. As Martinez fouls off the 2-0 pitch, the count's going to be 2-1.
Austin Carrillo literally said, wait till I get a metal bat back in my hand. Because people don't realize, I mean, I guarantee you there's a good 1,000 people in this stadium tonight. People forget the big difference a wood bat and an aluminum bat is. Like, it's amazing how they can go from being such a versatile athlete in baseball, going from metal to wood, and then, you go back to metal, and then if you go majors, you go wood. So it's good practice.
The 2-1, Martinez swings and misses on a pitch outside from Flores. Now the count's even 2-2. Battle back from Flores after starting down 2-0. Runner at second in Bologna. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2. A lot of 2s.
Deuce is wild.
Let's get a 3 right here on the strike column.
Pitch misses high, and now a full count.
3 in the wrong column.
I said in the strike column. I didn't jinx anything.
So full count, runner at second in Bologna. He had the RBI single that scored T.J. Clarkson. He advanced on a passed ball, and now a full count to Martinez, the Stanford product.
Let's see if they send him at second. I'm real curious. Be gutsy here.
Sulak covering at second. The pitch from Flores misses inside. Arrows almost had that ball get away from him. He does not. Prevents the runner Bologna from going to second to third, and Martinez trucks down to first, aboard with a 6-pitch walk.
Smart move by Anson to go get a mound visit. Let's bring him down a little bit.
So Flores in this inning got a fly out to Mason Grotto, then Clarkson singled. That was to right field. Clarkson advanced to second on a pass ball. Samuelson then struck out swinging. Then Bologna hit a single that scored Clarkson, and now Martinez, a 6-pitch walk. 2 runners on, 2 outs. And up to the plate now, Austin Kretzmar. Kretzmar also a Stanford product, so you go from Stanford to Stanford and Martinez to Kretzmar. First pitch, Austin swings and fouls it off. 0-1 the count.
People forget the camaraderie that the players have. Even if they're on the same team, they go to the same school during the spring. You see, I think it was Greg Melhoff saw another one of his Pepperdine buddies on the Riptide back at Sparky Anderson a couple of days ago, and they're hanging out with each other before the game. Like, you know, obviously it's competitive sometimes, as we saw last night, but it's a good vibe throughout the league.
Swing and a miss from Kretzmar, 0-2 the count, and yeah, you mentioned that connection. The last time these two teams played, you saw Brendan Bobo and JT Naviak with Austin Schell, who's a player for the Blues. They're all Cal State Fullerton products.
Fullerton boys.
There, exactly. It's cool in the Summer League to be playing against your teammates. You can do that here in the CCL. But 0-2 the count to Austin Kretzmar. The pitch from Flores. High and away, misses. 1-2 the count now. Kretzmar, 2 strikeouts and a walk today. That walk came in the 5th inning. He stole second base, but he was left stranded there. But a strikeout looking in the 3rd and a strikeout swinging in the 6th. The pitch from Flores.
At a kid.
Got him looking. Kretzmar sent down looking for the 2nd time today. A sombrero for him, his 3rd strikeout. And we head to the 9th inning. 6-3 the score after the Blues add a run on the RBI single from Vincent Bologna. We'll be back for the 9th. The Oaks, they got 3 outs to work with here on the Oaks live stream. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano, Logan Safarenko with you. The 3-man crew for today. The Oaks, they're trailing by 3, 6-3 the score here in the 9th. First pitch to Daniel Cabral. He grounds it to Austin Kretzmar, the 2nd baseman. He throws over to first, and Cabral's retired on the first pitch to him.
Let's see what the 9-man hunt can do here. I guess that bigger part in the leadoff man, Carrillo. Get something going here. I know we got 1 out, but you never know.
Cabral, he was the 9-hole hitter. 1 pitch to him, a ground out, and now the Oaks, they have 2 outs to work with. The Riptide, they lost today, so the Oaks, they're half a game out of the playoffs as of right now. The Oaks, they play the Riptide tomorrow, so that'll be a huge game in the CCL hunt for the playoffs. The Riptide and the Oaks, they're battling it out for that final playoff spot. First pitch to Austin Carrillo. It's called a strike. 0-1 the count from Ryan Ward.
See one you like and pull one down that right field line. That's where that was his sweet spot. He had it in his 3-for-5 day a couple weeks back, and then out in Cal Lutheran, he loves pulling that ball.
Hunter Call on deck. 0-1 the count, 1 out. The pitch from Ward. Carrillo grounds it just foul down the first base line, and now he's down 0-2.
Kind of close.
The Oaks, they led in this game early. They were leading 2-0, but then the Blues, they came back, scored 3 runs in the fourth inning. They took back the lead 3-2, and since then the Blues, they've led. 0-2 the count to Carrillo. The pitch. Carrillo slaps it foul, and we'll do the 0-2 again. Fourth pitch of the at-bat incoming to Austin Carrillo. And Carrillo, he's 0 for 3. Since that single, he led off the game in the first. He struck out looking on the third, a ground out in the fifth, and a fly out in foul territory in the seventh. Now down 0-2. The pitch.
Good take. Good take.
Yeah, that pitch ran outside. The SLO Blues crowd, they wanted that called a strike. But Carrillo, he knows the box. He knows the strike zone, and he knows what pitches he can take.
Packed house here in San Luis Obispo. Plenty of fans here. They're going to be sticking around for fireworks right afterwards. So Blues fans hoping for a win. The 1-2 to Carrillo. Nice. Misses. And Carrillo, who was down 0-2, now has an even count, 2-2, 6-pitch incoming in the at-bat.
Yeah, just find a way to extend your at-bat. Find a way to reach base. Best you can do right now with 1 out in the top of the ninth.
The 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he not go? He did not go. And now the count is full. Carrillo's worked an 0-2 count to full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 7th pitch of the at-bat incoming.
And it's all. I learned this the other day. It's not a matter if you break the plane when you are checking your swing. It's a matter if the knob of your bat lines up with the breaks the first baseline. So and clearly we can see it from here. He did not go.
The payoff pitch. Carrillo slaps another one foul.
It's good at bat here.
Carrillo always talks about it's a battle. Him versus the pitcher, 1v1. This is it. 9th inning. His team down by 3, looking to stay alive in the playoff hunt. They have 2 outs to work with. Looking to come back against the Blues and pick up a big win going into tomorrow's matchup against the Riptide. Carrillo grounds one back to the pitcher Ward. He flips it over to first, and Carrillo's retired. Eight pitches, but an out. And now the Oaks, they're down to their final out, down by 3. And it's going to be Hunter Call coming up to the plate, looking to keep the Oaks alive.
It's been a fun night, boys. I wish it was a different outcome, but
it's been great to have you in the booth.
Yeah, no, it's been great. First pitch to Call misses, 1-0 the count.
If you weren't working at the PA at Sparky Anderson, we'd have you up for a home game.
Yeah, we'd have you the next 2 games maybe, but
let's hope our rolls tomorrow and Sunday throw some luck in. Let's see if we can extend this game, though, a little bit from Hunter.
Call fouls off the 1-0, and now counts even, 1-1. The Oaks, they still have 2 strikes and 1 out to work with. Brendan Bobo, he's on deck. He's the 3-hole hitter. Call came into the game for TJ Foreman, who left with an injury. It was a scary injury, but hopefully he's doing okay. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. Ward on the mound. The pitch to Call. Looked at, called a strike. 1-2, and that's been a tendency of Call all season, taking pitches that are called for a strike.
Well, that pitch looked like it was below the knees.
That was an interesting one, but however, in a situation like this, it usually goes to the pitcher.
Fans extremely loud in San Luis Obispo, the loudest they've been all night. 1-2 the count, 2 outs, the pitch to Hunter Call. Looked at, misses.
That was a carbon copy of the last pitch.
Staying alive. Still, 2-2 the count. Fans still making noise. The pitch from Ward. Call goes down looking. The Blues, they win. 6-3 the final, and the Oaks, they're going to have some help. They're still alive in the playoffs, but they're a game out now from the Riptide, and they play the Riptide tomorrow, but a heartbreaking loss here in the chances of playoffs for the Oaks. And
do or die tomorrow.
Yeah,
do or die
tomorrow.
Must win.
Must win. So that'll do it for us here in San Luis Obispo. We have to catch the bus on our way out. We're going to take a short end to this post game, but the Oaks, they dropped 6-3. We'll be back at it tomorrow as the Oaks, they're looking to beat the Riptide. That game will be at 4. Come out to Sparky Anderson or tune in on YouTube. Thanks for joining us here.